Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Come get some.
It's clobberin' time! Clobberonimo!
Greetings. Greetings, clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberooskies, clobberoids, clobberians, every kind of clob you can imagine. To those who do not get clobbed, clobberologists, clobberians. For those who do not clobber, we all know the secret is to bang the rocks together, guys. God.
Clobberonimo!
Oh, I forgot.
Let me try that again.
Forget.
Let me try that again. You ready?
Yes.
Clobberonimo!
Good. Well, I forget sometimes. Hey, my friends. Sorry for the computer screw up there, everybody. But I'm not at all put out about it whatsoever, because we're gonna have fun tonight. So there we go. I'm not angry about it in the least. I'm completely calm, unreservedly peaceful, and at peace about it, and totally.
I can hear Enya now. Sail away, sail away, sail away.
I'm so good about it. God, I'm happy. So happy. But anyway, you know why I'm happy? Because I'm here with the most wonderful, beautiful first officer in the fleet, Commander R.M. Briggs. Hey. Take it away.
How are you, best friend? I love you with all my heart. Thank you so much for that marvelous introduction. I'm sorry that the computer crashed.
I don't even remember it. It's over.
Everyone,
I can't remember that far back.
I have a ridiculous cold that has now lasted 2 weeks. So if I sound awful, it's because I am truly awful. But that's okay, because I'm looking forward to spending the evening with you. I look forward to this every week. I love you all so much. So welcome to Clobberin Times. Tonight is CLOBBY'S Clubhouse. And this was the conceptualization of this show was that Mark and Clobby and I used to sit around talking privately on walkie-talkies and in backstage in StreamYard. And we were just shooting the breeze, just the buddies that we are, talking about different things. And then the captain had this idea. Hey, let's do this show. Let's go hang out. We'll call it the Clubhouse. I'll come up with that name tentatively, and we'll just hang out. And we'll talk about all this stuff that we talk about in private, but we'll share it with everyone. Wasn't that an amazing idea? Because now here we are. He created yet another space in his virtual comic book shop for all of us to hang out. And tonight we're going to be talking about Blake 7. We're going to be talking about Star Trek Untold Voyages, this marvelous comic that Clobby's been teaching me about. And not only are we going to talk about it, but we're going to review it. So that's what's in store. And obviously, you all know that Mark is a super geek who lives in a geek museum. He's a curator of the Mark D with the C museum. So he'll obviously have something cool for us to shoot the breeze about at the tail end of the show. So let's get started, shall we?
Yep.
I just want to say hail to all of the wrenches, hail to everyone in the chat. I want to give a shout out to Larry, Chris Persia, and Gwagnar. Thank you so much for using your social media to promote CLOBBERIN channel. I appreciate that so much. You guys really go out of your way to get people to come here to support CLOBBERIN, and I just love it. I want to wave hello to everyone on X. Look, I've been looking at our X numbers. They're ridiculous. We have an additional like up to 100, sometimes more people watching us on X as on one.
Right.
Where do you see that at?
Pardon?
Where do I find those numbers at? Wow, weird.
You just go and look at the little tag on X. So what X did is X used to just provide the URL, and that was like hot linked. It would jump you to YouTube. Now, once you put the URL on X, it actually becomes embedded, and it's Elon Musk's way of taking your content and using it on X without you getting a premium account and just uploading it or using X to do it. And in turn, what ends up happening is you wind up with your own analytics and your own metrics from these embedded videos that he's basically scraping off of YouTube. It's a super
So we're
cool.
X-rated?
We're X-rated. So it's super cool because people can watch on X and they can lurk. It doesn't have to show that they're there, but once they click on it and they begin a discussion, then they show up in our chat as X. So what's super cool is that I've been watching our numbers slowly build on X from like 20, 30, 50, all the way up to like 100. And so that's cray and totally cool because on CLOBBERIN's shows, we can get anywhere from like a handful of people all the way up to 300 people or more. And now we're getting very close to 100, if not more, on X at the same time. So
weird.
The channel's growing.
Cool.
And I just want to thank you all for doing that for us on X. And you know who's had a big part in that all along has been Lord Thoth, Larry, Chris Persia, and Gwagnar. Like they're killing it. And they're just such great guys. And I just love you guys so much. So thanks for being such great friends. I also want to wave a hello to all of the lurkers. For 3 years now, we've had between 200, 300, sometimes more lurkers here. And I just want you to know how much we appreciate you. Just me here and the guys, and we just really appreciate you. Without you, this magic doesn't happen. So thank you so much for your patronage. If you haven't got a membership yet, please feel free to scoop up a membership. Sometimes we even have very generous members here who give away memberships. But I want you to understand what membership is. Membership is really cool because you have access to all of these silly emoticons that are custom only for this channel, and they contain a whole bunch of inside jokes that are super fun to use. It's also really important that if you're lurking here, you're watching us on X, and you're here for the first time, CLOBBERIN has over 50 years experience as a hardcore geek. He owned a comic book shop. He appears on many streams as a pop culture expert. And he really is a subject matter expert when it comes to comic books. He's not just a reader. He's somebody who understands the publishing, the creation, the creators. He understands the whole communication historiography of comics. So you'll be able to engage with him one-on-one for those member streams. If you're not ready for a member stream yet or a membership yet, please feel free to clobber the like button and hit the sub and hit the notification bell. You'll know when he's on and you can get to know him better. And he is such a charming Southern gentleman. I know you'll fall in love with him just like I have. Folks, I have a new book coming out in spring 2024, and I'm just getting that ready now. So I'm going to quickly shout out my patrons who are backing my book, and then I'm going to shut my face so we can start the show. I just want to say thank you to Larry, Tony Stark, Sean Carter, Penny Lane, Shooter, Gwagnar, Dave C, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric K, and his trusty dusty dog Kirby. Oh my God, I love Kirby. He sent me footage of Kirby in the lake the other day playing ball. That dog is gorgeous. Enigmatic Drop Bear, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C and his beautiful family, Jilly Jill, Anti-Derivative Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Kirk, Dabman and the Dabman Clan, Lord and Lady Thoth, and of course Lance. feel free to chuck some cheese in the chat for all of our lovely pepperonis. Rob Altus and Tyler, if you like classic episodic science fiction without all the corporate garbage attached to it, stories that you can just escape into and have a good time and think about science fiction ideas and futurism, you probably like my stories. They're only 99 cents and you can get them at Amazon, but a collection is coming out, a new collection. So there will be 20 stories in total. And if you don't like Amazon, you hate those people, those are bad people, you say, well, I want you to know right now that just out of the blue, I didn't even ask, Barnes & Noble started carrying my book, which is super shocking to me.
Wow.
And super flattering. So if you don't like Amazon, hop on over to Barnes & Noble. And now I'm just going to wave hello to my buddy Mark, who I love. He's such a good friend to me, and to Clobby and to one and all. It's going to be so great to talk to him tonight. And of course, I'm just going to reach over the desk and I'm just going to kiss Clobby's whole face because I love him. I just love spending time with him. I love learning about Blake 7 from him because he is a Blake 7 super geek, and learning about these comics. So I love you, best friend. Let's get rolling. Oh, and Penny, our friend Penny, who uses us as a radio talk show and makes us a part of her everyday routine. She had a request, and so I'm going to fulfill it right now. Let's get started. Let's do it.
There you go. Well, all those nice things she was saying. I don't know who she was talking about. So, you know. By the way, number one, for your book, don't you have like a trailer or something for it?
I do. I have a brand new trailer.
Well, we need to show it, unless you don't want to show it here.
No, I can show it, sweetheart.
Let's show it.
Did you want to show it from YouTube, or do you want me to send it to you over?
You can send it here. Yeah, I mean, we would love to play it for sure. I mean, if you want.
All right, darling. Let me go on mute, and I'll be right back, and I'll get that together right now. Carry on, everyone.
Get it together. Right, yeah, I was going to ask you about it last night, but before we started, I forgot all about all the crap going on. Welcome, everyone, to Clobberin. I didn't get to say this at the beginning because I was just flustered. Clobberin Times number 427 on YouTube, 1,427 overall. And Clobby's Clubhouse 117. And while number one is collecting that together, let's see if our chief engineer has anything to say.
Well, it's great to be here tonight, and it wasn't my fault on that computer.
And they probably redesigned the whole sick bay, too. I know engineers, they love to change things.
Yeah, so that wasn't me. But be frustrated when your computer goes, especially start a show and you get the blue screen.
Right at the start of the show. What it did is it didn't even go blue screen. It went like that, and there's like a little lines across the screen. So.
Yeah, well, someday we'll get you an ORAC level computer, but
yep.
Yeah. And Raquel was like, "Where did Clobby go?" She was telling a joke. She's like, "Did he get offended?" I'm like, "He would never get offended by a joke that you would tell." But
yeah, good luck with that.
Did he leave? Yeah, like good luck with that. Yeah,
good luck with offending me.
So looking forward to we got another fun episode of Blake 7 tonight. I got the slideshow ready. Had a lot of fun at the watch party with everyone. So and then the comic, we'll see how the comic goes tonight, right? But I like those comics. I like those Untold Voyages. It's I wish we got more of that, or we'd gotten that as a regular series. But we'll talk about it when we get to that. So. But hail to everyone in the chat, and it's going to be great to hang out with everyone tonight again. And hey, it warmed up in the Northeast here. It hit like 52 degrees today. It was like summer. It was awesome. So
yeah, but warmed up here too. I'm bummed out. I hate it.
What to go up to in your
neck? A bunch of rain.
Rain, yeah.
Like in the 60s or something.
60s,
it's
wow.
Pretty nice for here, but
rainy day.
I like the cold stuff.
Oh, all right. Wow. That's unusual.
I love cold because we don't get any.
60, yeah, but 60 is not too warm.
Oh, it's nice. No, it's okay. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Well. So let's see. I guess I'll do the show notes and the shout outs while we're waiting. How about that?
All right. Yeah. I'm sure Raquel will be right back. Yep.
No hurry. We've got plenty of time. It's the clubhouse. We're just chidding out. Chidding out. As the kids say.
For sure. Yeah.
Show show notes, folks. But of course, first, the big note is it's January, and that means it is Batman 66 and Blake 7 month. Both of these great shows that mean a lot to me, that helped me start my geekness, especially, of course, Batman 66 defines and started my geekness. Blake 7 helped define it. Started in January of their respective years, 66 and 78. And so just always like to give them a little acknowledgement and a shout out to the greatest shows ever made and the most influential shows ever, especially two of the most of the most. And for me personally, anyway, Batman 66 being the biggie. Tonight is, of course, Thursday. I want to thank the great WDW Pro, the great gentleman over there in his channel. I was a guest earlier tonight on there, and just absolutely honored to be on that great channel. It was very nice of that gentleman, and then it was a cool panel. And then it was, of course, great being on with Tom Connors on his Dim and Nights After Dark channel, also a great fellow. Tomorrow, Friday, as every Friday, Fearless Fridays, on our great buddy J-Man's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're reviewing all of Frank Miller's classic, comics-changing, game-changing Daredevil run. Sean and J-Man and myself going to do the whole Miller run there. It's amazing. And yeah, this is just, we're really, really enjoying that. And then after that, a little bit later, on my good buddy, the 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel, I'm probably be hanging out with the Friday Night Comic Shop boys. Yay. And we'll just talk the usual stuff. Right. Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. And so let's see. And then, of course, Saturday Night Star Trek. 4 more episodes. Brother, what she said. 4 more episodes reviewed of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Oh, no. Voyager. I get those two mixed up. Sorry. Kidding. Star Trek Voyager, folks.
But wait a minute. Your memory got erased by watching Unforgettable?
Must have. I didn't watch it yet.
No spoilers.
I did not watch
spoiler.
We don't care about spoilers. We'd have to care about the show, too. Then, of course, Sunday Night Geekery. After watching those NFC and NFC championship games, I'm going to be pretty aggravated, I bet you. So we'll have some fun chilling out at the great Mark D with the C's channel. The chief engineer, he'll put
football tailgate party food.
Yeah, we'll be talking about probably some geekery since it's football Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. So
Super Bowl, that means eatery.
Eatery for sure. That's a few weeks away yet. But
my wife is actually going on a trip for business, and she was going to Arizona, right. near Vegas. She's like, "Why are the hotels so expensive?"
Right.
The Super Bowl is in Vegas this year.
Yes, she's like, "That's when the Super Bowl is."
The first ever Super Bowl in Vegas ever. So,
yeah, the hotels are crazy expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Vegas is going to be hopping.
Oh man, it's gonna be, that's just ridiculous.
Steve Mitchum can't wait.
What a venue for that, man! Oh,
yeah,
Super Bowl. Any city it goes to is like, I guess it's like Vegas when the Super Bowl's there for that 2-week period. So it's insane. So yeah. Anyway, so there's that, all that good stuff, and let's shout out our good friends in the chat with us. Of course, the great, whether they're here or not, our wrenchers get to call out the great Eric K, Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North. T-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron, Lord Thoth, and Lady Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion. J-Man, the Wrench Without Fear. Maddie's Daddy. Stephen Callell, the Super Wrench. Fanty Outsider, a hungry boy. Maximum Redstone, and Larry. Let's see who else was with us now in the chat. Did you send me the what I needed?
I did, boss man.
Okay.
I sent you to a regular one.
I will get that. Let's see. I'll get that downloaded. Let me get that downloaded before I shout everybody out, so we can have that. I mean, because it takes a minute. So download anyway. I have to press the download anyway button. Damn you! Download anyway. Okay.
Come on, computer.
Hello, computer.
Hello, computer.
So there we go. Let's see who's here. I got to run the chat quite a ways back, I'm afraid. Larry is here, of course.
A man
Penny.
so nice, you should say his name twice. Larry.
Penny.
Penny.
Lovely Penny. Ravenscroft.
Evening, Ravenscroft.
Dave C.
Dave.
Keely Chow. Roll that tie. Keely Chow. Sean Carter.
Sean Carter from Mars.
Hey, I think that's, you can tell when I'm can't get to somebody. SP4H.
Evening.
Hey. Park 130.
Hooby dooby. We'll pass the tequila.
The Tetrarch up apathy.
So apathetic.
Taylor Swift greater than Disney Star Wars. I don't know now, man. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of Taylor Swift and the Chiefs. I hope the Chiefs lose. Did you see that thing where it had they found that, you know, that's probably the fixes in this ref. Every time he does games for the Chiefs, they have like a 50% something winning thing, and the NFL wants her at that Super Bowl so they can show her on the camera every 5 minutes like they do. So that means they're going to cheat for the Chiefs. I'm sick of the Chiefs. Hey, we have some more friends here who are Chiefs fans. Nothing. Look, you guys win it all, and I'll be happy for you personally. But I'm tired of the Chiefs winning it. Come on, we're getting in there every year.
They get all the calls.
I'm tired of Taylor Swift. They do get calls. What do they get calls? Picasso.
I haven't seen you in so long. Good to see you, friend.
I have seen Picasso a couple times.
I haven't.
Lately.
It's so good to see you. Hey, friend.
Susan Eckstein.
Suzanne, how are you?
Oh, Suzanne. Sorry, that's right. Suzanne Eckstein. My bad. Sorry, dear. Good to see you. Pop Culture Republic.
Pop.
Hey there, Pop Culture. Zacharot. What's up?
Zacharot.
Dave G. Sound.
Not just another body of water.
Doc Fortune. What's up, Jack?
Doc.
Mazerus.
Maze.
Hey. Anyone else pops in, they will be duly noted. So, all right then.
Dave, that's a great joke. Whoosh, Surf Arizona. I love you, Dave G. Sound. Welcome. Good to see you, friend.
Let's see what we have up in here. We can download it. Oh, there it is. Okay, it'll take us a second to download, I think, but we will get it. Looks like it's uploading. Or upload even, sorry. I meant
And you try
upload.
to pretend like you don't know what you're doing. When
I
you
don't.
just corrected yourself live, the difference between a download and an upload. Bravo, I love you. You're more tech savvy than a lot of people your age. You know that?
Well, there's the word upload there that kind of gave it away.
Oh, get out of here.
It says uploading, so that's,
I'm going to shin kick you.
It says that. Look, you can't. So, I mean, I guess even a moron like me could read that word. I mean, it's true.
You are not a moron.
Although I did screw it up because it's uploading, not uploaded. So,
do you want to wake up on the beach? I will rover you.
You can make a beast whale joke about me if you did.
Don't you dare!
Why? I think it's a good one.
I'm going to shin kick you. I'm going to shin kick you, you big pile of rocks.
But I can't. If you can't make jokes about yourself, I mean.
Larry, I love you, Larry. Thank you so much for always supporting me.
What?
It's just such a good friend to me. Thank you so much for supporting my work and for your generosity over these last few years. I'm really touched. And thank you for your friendship and your insight and just for being so wonderful to me, Larry. It means a lot.
This says, man, it takes forever to upload these beaches. But we're getting there, folks. We're getting there.
I'm sorry. It's really.
But it's true, though. They have a ref that it looks like it's going to be cheating to keep Taylor Swift's stupid face in the soup, at the game.
I used to wonder why you were all so annoyed by her, but now that I hang around with all of you and your feeds are spilling into my feed on X, I now realize why you guys don't like her. She does not go away.
I don't dislike her. It's not that I dislike her. I don't even care. I wouldn't know one song. And she's not. I mean, shake it up.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. I still don't know one song. She's for those who don't know and don't follow sports ball, she's dating Travis Kelce. Well, he's having a shitty year actually, but once great tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they make a big deal about it, because she goes to his games, which I guess if you're fair, it's fair. She would go to his games if they're dating, okay. But she's so famous that 4 or 5 times a game. Again, not her fault, other than that she's famous. The cameras, because it's national television, right?
Yeah.
Every now and then they cut to her reaction to the game, and she's just.
Every now and then, about every 30 seconds.
It's not really that much, but it's enough to. It seems like a lot.
Didn't her recent tour though make like billions and billions of dollars?
Right.
So,
yes.
People really like her, right? So I can see why sports fans would be upset because it's not a Taylor Swift concert; it's a football game.
The network doesn't care. Hey, Mars Monkey Max.
Hey, Mars Monkey Max. Good to see you.
The network doesn't care. They think it's right. They give them good ratings.
It does. That's why they're doing it.
And you get the female demographic too, because most of her fans are women. Yeah, so
that's right.
That female.
I probably have a lot of kids who don't watch football, but they watch that so they can see her.
Yeah.
Reacting to her stupid boyfriends.
Look at that sexy liberator.
We'll put that on lower.
Let's look at that.
There we go. You ready?
Wait, look at that. Trailer? Oh, yes, right. Yes. Let's start the trailer.
All right, everyone. Trailer time. Here we go. Yeah, I love it.
Yay, I'm glad you like it.
You did leave one thing off.
What?
After the Science Fiction Tales Electric, Volume 2, you forgot to put Electric Boogaloo.
I did forget to put Electric Boogaloo. Damn it.
Epic fail.
That's okay. No one's disappointed.
Everyone strikes out once in a while.
Hey, Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete. Oh, I have pictures from Scuba Pete. Scuba Pete sent me stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I forgot to get those pictures.
I know.
You're sick, so you're excused. That's okay.
I'm sure I talked to him, but he sent me this too. Again, thank you, Scuba. Thanks again, buddy.
He sent me a beautiful TMP glass and a cassette tape of The Cage and We're No Man, like a cassette tape from the 60s.
Like VHS, you mean?
No, cassette.
Oh, audio recording. An audio recording.
Just Joe Jobber.
Like fan made.
What's
Just
up, buddy?
Joe Jobber, how are you?
Hey, buddy. He says, R.I.P. Norman Jewison. He was director, one of my all-time favorite, the original Rollerball. Good,
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
And the great Gary Graham, star of freaking Robot Jocks and Alien Nation, and of course Star Trek Enterprise. And an all-around good guy.
That stinks. Yeah.
I knew someone who knew him. I really like Gary Graham as an actor.
He had a great presence. He was great as Soval on.
He really was.
Enterprise,
Masters of all. Yeah.
Both of those guys are pretty amazing because Rollerball is a very, very scary sci-fi dystopian film, the original one, and that's James Caan, right?
Yes.
Yep, James Caan.
That is scary, good stuff.
It is.
And Gary Graham was a sweetheart, and it's such a shame, really a shame. Thanks for that, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you for your super chat, buddy. Anonymous Gamer, welcome.
Hey, Anonymous Gamer.
Yeah, Gary Graham, like I said, our buddy, our minimus used to keep contact. We've met him a couple of times, and we used to keep contact with him, and he was just a really nice guy who, he used to get a little bit blackballed in Hollywood because he had the wrong opinions, if you know what I mean.
Oh, get out of here. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, he was one of those evil people who did walk in lockstep with Hollywood opinions, so.
I did not know that. I'm going to do a little bit of reading on that.
And he was the first guest on that Connor Trenier, Donald McKeating shuttle podcast that they started.
Yeah.
He went on the very first one where they did like a dramatic reading. It was an anniversary of that shuttle pod one episode.
Right.
And they did like a dramatic reading of it, and he did Archer's voice and stuff.
Yeah.
He was really cool. He loved Trek.
Oh, wow. Hey, Maggie's Daddy's here.
Hey, he was a member of he had a band called something like the Sons of Kirk or whatever. Something like
Yeah. I know about that.
Yeah.
He worked at Breitbart. Wow.
Yeah. He's evil, of course.
My God.
Great dude.
I like
And
more now.
Yeah. Huh. Was not popular or something. So he talked about how he would get a lot of jobs early on, but when he started getting a little bit more vocal.
Yeah.
Got far less work, of course. So that's the way it goes, unfortunately. But 72 years old. Mm-mm.
That's young, and that's sad.
Yep. Good dude.
Yep.
Oh, man. So, what's that? Ravenscroft said Graham also guest starred on the sci-fi show Mantis. That's right. He was on Mantis, yeah. And Incredible Hulk and did some other stuff early on.
Yeah, he was very active in my, like, in the very short window where I watched television. Yeah.
Yep. I didn't watch Alien Nation much, but a lot of people like that show.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good show. I didn't watch it religiously, but whenever I put it on, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I always wish I could get drunk off of spoiled milk, because we always end up, and your milk goes bad.
Yeah, the aliens got spoiled milk made the aliens drunk. Yeah,
drunk. Yeah.
What? I have to watch this show.
The movie was
fun.
I actually kind of liked the movie with James Caan.
I think I remember the movie.
Mandy Patinkin. Yeah.
But wasn't it like right around the time of V?
2 years
after
later.
V. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, but it was shortly after V, because V was
right.
V was Canadian, I believe, so it was like humongous in Canada.
No,
and
V was on that NBC.
Was but wasn't that made? I thought V, the television show, was made in Canada. Am I wrong? Or was it just
they may have shot the TV show there. They may have shot the TV show though. The two miniseries, I think, were definitely shot here.
Yeah, but it seemed to like engulf culture here, like when it was out, like it was big, like, and that doesn't usually happen in Canada, but it was super massive V, like bigger than The Littlest Hobo or any of those shows that we were watching back then. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fiona.
Faye.
What's up?
Yeah, that was bigger than the Beachcombers. That V show, everyone was watching it.
The series itself lasted like 19 episodes, and was kind of not that great. But the first miniseries was amazing. Second one I even liked, even though the producer on the first one didn't do the second season. I mean the second miniseries, Final Battle.
Alien.
We should review that one day.
1989, Scoob's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, yeah. I was like working like 12-hour days at that point. There'd be no way
SBC
I could watch.
SB4H liked it a lot. It was it was a very popular show. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should review the VTV show sometime. Clubby says Ravenscroft.
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind. I watched it recently for the first time because I only watched the first couple of episodes of this. I mean, I'm talking about the series. Let's be clear about that.
Hmm.
And it's a mess. That 19 episodes of a mess of a show. But the first two miniseries are great.
Yeah. We
I mean,
should. I mean, I've never
were
watched
huge.
it, but
You ever
like
watched the
at that
miniseries?
time, I had to work.
The
Like,
miniseries is great. Yeah.
The miniseries, I mean, you talk about gigantic. When it first aired, 83 or whatever it was.
Oh, that was big.
It was 2 parts, 2-hour movies, like parts. The first one just called V was, I mean, it was, I mean,
On
everyone,
TV
it was
Guide.
must-see TV.
Cover
was
of
even-
TV Guide.
Yeah, that was, I mean, there was nobody missing that show. It was, I mean, a miniseries. And so a couple of years later, Kenneth Johnson, who made things like The Incredible Hulk and worked on the $6 Million Man, everything like that, he produced the original, had a big fight with the network, and he left unless somebody else took over to do V: The Final Battle, which had 3 2-hour parts, which I also loved, but it was very different from his original vision. But still, and then a few years later, they did the series, which lasted 19 episodes. I never watched all of it before, like a couple of years ago, and then I'm watching it on Tubi. It's on Tubi or something. The series,
yeah.
and it's an absolute mess. But the miniseries
It's
are
bad.
both great.
I remember loving it as the little kid, but
What?
There's
haven't
not a lot
watched
of-
it.
The
TV
series.
show. The series.
Like
yeah.
I said, there's two. There's
I'll have to
2
watch it
miniseries, and then later the actual series, which 19 episodes, and it was kind of okay, not that great. And the
Yeah.
last couple of episodes were an absolute disaster. They were weird in the ends of 19 episodes, and you just go, "Hey, you want to know what happens now? Too bad. You can read the comic or the books. Maybe they'll tell you something."
Was that when Willie was a father? Was that in the miniseries or was that in the TV series? Robert Englund.
I don't think he was the father.
Well, then one of his quote girlfriend have a baby, and it was like a alien baby at one point.
Yeah, the one that comes out of the stomach.
The other girl had a baby. with
Oh,
an
the other
alien.
girl. Oh, it's been so long. I got to watch
Yeah.
it again.
Not Willie.
You should've
Yeah, I
watched
don't.
that
I
instead of
vaguely
Echo.
remember it as well, but I don't remember it being bad. But I also don't remember it being good. I mean, I was young-ish when I was watching that, but the other one that came out in the 80s and in the 90s, and there's absolutely no way that I could have watched it in the 90s or in the 2000s.
No,
I was just working way too much to ever watch television.
Just watch and we should review them. Just watch if you can get a hold of them, the mini series for both. The first mini series, which again was 2 event nights of 2 hours each.
Yeah.
And then
That
a
was
couple years
huge, yeah.
later, V: The Final Battle, which was 3 different night events of 2 hours each. Which
Okay.
was great. Michael Ironside, the great Michael Ironside. And
Yeah, I remember him being in it.
in V: The Final Battle, he's in that.
Yeah.
Series.
So,
After
what
that,
am I
then you can
watching?
check- well, again,
Honey,
there's
tell me which one to watch.
1983, it's V, the miniseries, the first one.
I've seen that one, but I haven't seen it since 1983. So V, the
it'll be,
miniseries.
it'll be brand new to you. Then V: The Final Battle, which is 3 parts instead of 2.
Hold on. V.
And we'll all get together and we'll review them one night.
Okay, well, let me just differentiate the products that we're talking about. V:
Right.
The Final Battle.
V:
This
The
one is the
miniseries,
this is the miniseries.
V: The miniseries, then V: The Final Battle miniseries.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'll erase
Yeah.
that. Do you know what year V: The Final Battle came out?
Oh, wasn't it like the very next year, Mark? Like 84 or 85, something
Let
like
me
that.
check my.
I think I
it's
watched
a-
that one as well.
That's the one
you know,
with Michael Ironside.
I just remember all the Dungeons and Dragons nerd and geek crowd at school were just very happy.
Yeah.
Star Wars crowd. So it's like, wow, we're getting a show that's
Maddie's daddy.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
All of V had to be master. Mark Singer was in all of them.
Yep. Mark Singer's great. Yep. Let's see what.
Yeah, I was a teenager when I watched that. Okay, so and then what's this Alien Nation?
It was a movie
Yeah.
at first with James Caan and Mandy Patinkin, which was pretty cool.
Okay, so there's a film.
And then they did a TV show that just recast as different actors with the same characters and
TV show.
lasted. How long did the TV show last?
I don't know. This is the one I haven't seen.
Was it like 3 seasons?
Something like that, man.
Yeah.
It was pretty
I think I may have seen the Alien Nation film, but I did not see the TV show. Just working too much at that time. The dates you guys are giving, it's like I was working 12, 14, and 16-hour days at that point. There would be
Should have found time to watch
TV. There was no TV in my life at that time.
You see, back then, it's not like today. There was no science fiction. There were virtually no science fiction, fantasy related TV. So when you got one, it was like, I can't believe it. Wow. And you got one once a year, maybe at minimum, right?
Yeah.
So you were there. If you could watch it and you knew about it, you were there because yes, you could. Obviously, there were still science fiction books and stuff, but as far as movies, there were some movies, of course.
Yeah.
As far as television,
no,
they would take a shot, maybe like the networks would take a shot with one show a year or something, basically.
Yeah,
and that was it, and it would never last. You know. And even though in the 80s, when science fiction fantasy movies were doing well, TV, I mean, again, those V miniseries did well. The TV series didn't last.
Yeah.
Alien Nation was 1 season, 22 episodes,
That's
and 5
sad.
TV movies. Wow.
Yeah,
like thank you, Chris Berger. The V miniseries are 5 episodes. The first one, let's see, hour and 45 minutes, hour and a half. Yeah, so it's like 5 mini movies, an hour and a half.
Well, we should watch that, you guys.
Yeah, we should. I've watched it many times, and I would love to do it again. The first 2 miniseries.
I think I speak for Mark when I say he and I have not watched that since we were like teens.
That's cool. I've watched them so many times, and yet never get tired of them. Like I say, Final Battle's a lot of fun, but it's very. Kenneth Johnson hated it because he took his name off of it and didn't get to do what he wanted. But I still love it because he had Ham Tyler, the great character played by Michael Ironside.
Mm-hmm.
And
plus you had Faye Grant in it.
Well, they had a great cast.
Yeah. Judson Scott was in it, actually, from Wrath of
He
God.
was. Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
But Clobby's right. Like, remember how that was like event television because there was such a scarcity in having science fiction. Like, I think that younger people don't realize that before science fiction was seen as a joke. Oh, like it's a tin, like tin pie pans turned upside down. And, this is why people like Jeffrey Hunter were told, oh, don't do Star Trek. You can't take science fiction seriously. And many people didn't take it seriously, especially in television. Sure didn't.
Yeah.
Plus, TV was a downgrade back then too, right? I mean, you wanted to be a movie.
Oh no.
TV was a downgrade, and then add to that peasant vision, right? Like a lot of people that you talk to today don't realize that many of us, especially in Generation X, we grew up with just a black and white television set. It's not like you could, shows were black and white and in color, depending upon what channel. And many of us grew up without cable. Many of us grew up in areas that didn't even have access to cable. So, so you're dealing with lots of cultural things happening. The communication historiography of science fiction and is one that can only be told when you understand, like what Mark just said, that film was the ultimate, and then TV was a downgrade. But then also the technology was developing at the time, and people were growing accustomed to spending these large sums of money on the living room quasar that was the size of a Yugo, and your family could probably afford it if it was in black and white, but to get a color tube, that was the big deal. That was the big deal.
And like you're saying, Ravenscroft and others have said, movies were doing science fiction pretty good bit. Adrian James, welcome.
Hey, Adrian, nice to see you.
Science fiction was expensive with practical effects the way they were at the time. So TV did not like to spend money.
Nope.
So it was cheaper to make sitcoms, even action shows and cop shows and such, and dramas. It was way cheaper. So why spend all that money on a lot of science fiction shows? Whereas today, it doesn't really, it's nowhere near the same kind of cost. I mean, still not that it's cheap, but comparatively speaking, and they know today, they learned finally that there's a market for it.
Yeah. We also had a different culture back then too. Like, people were very comfortable because if you're Gen X and your parents were born in the 1930s, the late 1930s or early 1940s, you had a very different culture happening at home as well. People were still very much comfortable with the fact that they had this really cool, expensive technology in the house. Mom used to take out, mom or dad, whoever, whatever kind of family you come from, would take out furniture polish like Pledge and wipe the television down. And you very much had this relationship with TV where it was the Sears catalog. So you were watching these shows, but it was also your way to connect to invention and innovation, how you purchase things, what was out there that you could afford or you couldn't afford, what you were buying for jewelry, when they invented a new cereal. So the TV was telling you about the world, and commercials weren't as haphazard and insane as they are now. It was really a dialogue about, this is what we have on offer. So people understood the mechanism, number one, and now there's a distortion. They don't understand it. And number two, it was still in the romance period of the technology where people were like, oh, wow, looking forward to the commercials. What's on sale? What's happening? Oh my God, Pizza Hut has a 2-for-1 special. It was our way about finding out about the world. And the minute that we had computers and we all got online and Web 2.0 happened, nobody was looking forward to the commercials on television anymore. They already had another way to connect with the world. So yeah, it's just crazy.
There was a lot of crossover with V because it wasn't just for science fiction geeks. It had a Sunday night time slot, if I remember right. And my mom and dad didn't give a whit about science fiction. And a lot of other people were captivated by it because of the story. And the ratings were, off the charts.
Yeah, it was. I was looking at the ratings there. It was.
They were amazing.
It was
huge.
40% of the viewing audience watched it at the time. So it was
for a science fiction thing.
Yeah. First part was the second most popular program of the week. Of course, that's back when you had like the 3 networks, but it was massive success. Yeah. So I made a mistake. Yeah, it's 5. The first miniseries is 2 episodes,
2 parts,
about 200 minutes,
2
and then
movies,
the second part is 2 movies, and the second
2
part
movies?
is
the 2-hour show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we talking about V right now or Alien Nation?
V. No, sorry, V.
All right,
and then,
sweetheart.
And then
That's
the final battle. Yeah, it's a 2-parter, and the final one is 3-parter. 3-parter, yeah, because I had it
all
on
movies, all movie length, by the way.
All right, well, we got to get on that, you guys. If there's interest in the audience for that, and our friends want us to talk about that because they want to talk about that too,
I think they'd enjoy it. Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, and it's very, it's of course it's it's always contemporary with what's government overreach. There's a lot of allegory in there. That's well done allegory. But one of the sad thing about that was Dominic Dunn's daughter Dominique was murdered. If you remember, she was supposed to play Robin Maxwell. So that was that horrific stalker case when
they
didn't do anything about the stalker.
Horrible.
So she's actually appears in some, they had to recast, and she's still in the background in a few scenes. You can't see her face, but yeah,
I remember that. Oh, horrible.
Just remembering that. It's very sad. Yep. But no, it's an excellent series, and of course the other Jane Badler is. I wonder if she ever watched Blake 7, because there's a lot of Serverland in that character, as I'm recalling. Yeah,
there is.
Remember.
Nice.
So, she's the big bad in
kind of a
that.
cheeky, like a over the top Serverland,
sexy. Yeah, but
hey, Bruce Lombardo from Dick's Division is here.
Hey, Bruce, great to see you.
Dominic Dunn, yeah. Yes, she was. That's absolutely horrible thing. Well, so are we ready to get on with our first review of the evening?
I think we are, sweetheart. Do you want me to set you up?
How?
Well, I'll just introduce you, unless you don't need me.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, folks. We've reached the Blake 7 portion of the show. Tonight we are discussing the episode Deliverance, which is season 1, episode 12. And Clobby is like a super geek when it comes to a Blake 7. So he's going to provide a summary of the episode to spark the discussion. And he's going to do it just off the top of his head. This is a man who has most of this show memorized. He knows all the dialogue, and it's just super cool to hear his insights and his descriptions. So sit back, get comfortable while Clobby tells us all about Deliverance to spark tonight's conversation. Take it away, Captain.
Thank you so much, number one.
You get the banjo jokes out of the way right away.
Yeah, might as well. There we go. Now for the the Deliverance jokes, folks. There you go. No Deliverance jokes will be tolerated henceforth. I said, look at Simply Steve. What's up? Comes in with a damn Deliverance joke. All right, Simply Steve, I'm afraid I'm going to have to call you out on that.
Personal foul, crackback, 85, offense, 15-yard penalty.
Yep. 15 yards, pal. And Dad Man and the Dad Man clan. What's up, buddy? Okay, my turn.
Dad Man.
Am I up? I'm up.
You're up. Yep.
All righty then, folks. Deliverance. Blake 7, season 1, episode 12, the penultimate episode of the season. In fact, Deliverance. Okay, so the episode opens up basically with a gentleman by the name of Ensor and a surgeon by the name of Marriott on their way to a very secluded, very isolated planet where, of course, Ensor and his father live. Called Aristo, but I don't think they say that yet. But anyway, they are on their way in a small ship. It turns out that we'll find out later that they've made a deal. Ensor, the senior, the elder is dying, and he needs an operation. He's in need of these power cells to power his heart, and his son is bringing Marriott. After making a deal with the Federation to purchase an item, it's a mysterious item called ORAC. What is that? With the Federation, with Servalan, the Supreme Commander. And as you can see in this ship here, they're heading to Aristo. And, well, things don't go so well for them. As they are flying near a planet, boom. Good night, Penny.
Night, Penny.
Have a great night, my dear.
Hey, thank you for making us a part of your nightly routine, Penny. Sleep sweet, lady.
Good night, dear. So, it appears that some sneaky, monstrous creature, Seven, has booby trapped the ship. Has put a bomb on the ship.
That's right, folks. Clobby just said booby.
You don't have to dwell on it, but I guess they will now. And it boobied, blew up. And the two gentlemen.
Night, Dad Man.
Good night, Dad Man. Eject from the ship into escape pods. They direct the ship, but before they do that, it just so happens that the Liberator's in the area, and they spot the ship. They see it. They see that it has the problem, and it's gonna crash. And they go to try to help the gentleman because that's kind of Blake for you. He likes helping people. So they go down to the planet to try to see if there are any survivors. Marriott, unfortunately, has passed away. Has died in the crash. Even though these things are supposed to be safe, these don't trust these pods, right? And Avon and Vilia find OT. What's up? Good to see you there, OT. They find Ensor the Junior, pretty banged up but still alive. And it turns out while they and Gan bring this guy back to the Liberator, Jenna has been captured. Why they keep this is similar to what happened in some ways in Time Squad. It's Seek, Locate, Destroy. I always get this backwards. To Callie, where she got caught, and they go back to Liberator, then find out a few minutes. Oh, wait a minute, where was she?
Yeah,
very
missing
clumsy.
Someone. Yeah,
it happened again. Deja vu.
Keep losing the girls. What's going on there?
A woman.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I kind of like it. Kind of realistic, right?
Yeah.
Or at least I think it is realistic. Yeah, I think that if I land on a planet and there are a whole bunch of hulking cavemen. And a bunch of Neanderthals just walking about, and the shortest among them is 5'11", and they see me. I mean, I think I'm probably going to get taken hostage, right? What was Gan thinking? Come on, Gan.
Yep, Gan should
Lady
have
should be
stayed
in
with her.
front of you.
You should stay with her. Absolutely, Gan.
I think so. I
Courtney.
think the lady should be in the front because, I'm sorry, but I'm not as powerful as a 6'5" Neanderthal with a club and a rock. I'm just not. You know what I mean?
Courtney, hey there.
Hi, Courtney.
So
Hey, Courtney, nice to see you.
Jenna gets taken hostage. They don't recognize it until they get back up to the Liberator, but they eventually do realize it and decide, well, Avon, Blake's not very happy. Avon's was all up in Blake's grill about how he could handle things better than him. And what happens? Avon loses somebody. Oh, not bad form, Ave. Bad form, but even though it was Gan's fault. So he sends Avon, Gan, and Villa back down to the planet while Blake and Callie tend to Ensor. Meanwhile, it's at Space Command headquarters. We have a little meeting between Servalan and the aforementioned, the formerly somewhat disgraced Travis. But you know how Servalan is. If she could use somebody, she will. So she basically gets together with Travis and finds out what a nut he is for Blake. Says, well, if you want to get back on Blake's trail, you're going to help me find Orak. She tells him that the Federation has negotiated for 100 million credits for Orak. And he's like, can you get that kind of money? Can you even authorize that? And she says, nope. But she offered it anyway. She had no intention of paying for it. Of course, she tells Travis about the bomb she planted on Ensor's ship, and that Marriott's there, and he remembers the man Marriott, who was the one who saved his life after Blake shot him. And she's pretty much like, well, sorry, but he has to be listed as a traitor, and then there's an instance there where they talk about it. If you're listed as a traitor, then your whole family is taken and put into slavery on a Federation evil planet. That's how bad the Federation is. And even though at first Travis shows almost a little humanity, like, well, that's horrible. I mean, the guy saved my life. But she's like, well, you want revenge on Blake or not? And he's like, yeah, screw him. These are two rotten people. In case you ever need to know, folks. Servalan and Travis are some horrible creatures. Well, I love them.
I think Terry Nathan does a wonderful job of showing what creeps they are.
Who are they rotten?
They're utterly bereft of any humanity
no decency whatsoever.
And he does it so wonderfully. And he always almost always achieves it through dialogue. And so it's a wonderful thing to experience. One of the things they've not Terry Nation and Chris Boucher have done with these characters is you see there a speck from Travis, like, this guy saved my life. And it's one thing, you killed him is one thing, and then you're going to make his whole family suffer, and I'm going to just go along with it. But at first he was like, it bothered him for a second, but not as much as his obsession with his own life, which shows what a true scumbag he is. There have been other examples where Servalan has showed compassion for people to a point, but then ultimately anything that threatens what she wants or her power, this is exactly why Avon was so right to not get involved with her later down the road. Can I please interject, even though it's super rude? I beg your pardon, Captain, but a good friend of ours is leaving for the evening, and so I've started his review because he asked us to share it when we get to that point.
Okay.
Dave is he has a band-aid on his head in his emoji, so I hope he's feeling okay. Just sending my love to you, Dave G Sound. I'm sending you a hug. Please go to bed. I hope you're okay. Check in with us, and it would be our absolute pleasure to put your review up on the marquee later. So check in with us later, and I hope everything's okay. Sending you a hug. Good night, Dave.
Take care, Dave. Good to see you, buddy. So we have that little tete-a-tete, little bitty meeting between Servalan and Travis to find out where they stand. Back to the planet, while our three landing party, Avon, Villa, and Gan continue to search for Jenna at the stone quarry. Insor is kind of Blake and Callie are seeing to his needs, seeing to his injuries, and eventually he tells them he needs to go to help save his father. They say, sure, we'll do that. Listen, as soon as our people get back, we have someone missing. He's saying, we got to go now. Insor is insistent that they leave now. Blake says no, because he's waiting for his people down, obviously, to come back. He's not going to leave them there. But Insor pulls a gun on them and forces Blake and Callie to abandon the others and take the Liberator out of orbit go to Aristo. And he keeps a gun on them. He's in very bad shape physically. He's probably dying. He knows it, but he wants to save his father. As he holds the gun on Callie, and the whole hostage while he forces Blake to fly the Liberator, and they're none too happy about it. And
I have the Serverland clip. Let me just play this.
Oh,
You're almost as ruthless as I am.
You underestimate me, Travis.
his answer was, it seems so.
Yeah,
Would seem so. So, yep, exactly. That's good. I'm glad you had that clip, though. You're almost as ruthless as I am.
yeah,
Dude, I think she's got you beat by a couple billion miles, to be honest.
yeah.
I mean, Travis is rotten, but I don't know. They're perfect. What a match, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
A match made in
weird,
hell,
yeah.
because that's
hell.
where they're both going.
In hell, big time. So, anyway, so as the search goes on, as the Liberator speeds towards Aristo at gunpoint, the crew gets attacked again, and they end up getting let into last minute as they try to escape inside of this steel door of this mountain. They're brought in by Migat, a strange, absolutely exquisitely lovely young lady who is basically speaking all kinds of strange prophecy stuff as if she's expected them, especially Lord Avon. And is apparently she's been raised all of her life to expect someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Scuba Pete. Now Scuba remembers Migat. Oh, there you go.
It's because Scuba Pete is awesome.
He is awesome. So, basically, Migat, they're all kind of like, wait a minute, what? They don't understand what's going on, obviously. But she just tells them she's been waiting for them. They all think she's kind of loopy. But even eventually, she shows them into this room that's like a big space control room for a spaceship, for a rocket.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, they tell her, we've got to go find, our friend. She tells them about where they can go find her. So as the Liberator speeds towards Aristo at gunpoint, the Avon and the group go out to find Jenna, and they eventually are able to rescue Jenna. Meantime, eventually, Insor just can't take it anymore. I know I'm going faster than your picture. Sorry.
Yeah, here's that clip.
She seems to be on our side.
Yes, but the poor woman's insane. Not necessarily.
Yeah, Lord. So they do, Lord Avon.
I'm gonna get Lord Avon next. Yeah, that's in the works.
Lord
Avon.
Lord Avon.
They rescue. Eventually, they're able to rescue Jenna and get back with Migat as Blake is eventually able to get the gun away from Insor, who eventually dies. The Liberator is going to be about, once they're able to make contact with Liberator, they're going to be about 4 hours. So we find out that what Migat is there waiting for them for is for someone to come along who can understand this technology, because these two races, they just wiped themselves out with war and radiation and all this other kind of stuff, and they don't understand any of the technology. So they were waiting for someone to come along that does, so that it could launch this ship full of embryos off to another planet to find a home for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lord Avon and his group do just that. And Avon, as Jenna tells Blake, Avon's about to become a legend. What?
I have to interrupt for 1 second because Scuba Pete would like me to say something, and so I shall. Lord Avon, I've waited for you in my 90.
Oh my God.
Okay, you may continue. Sorry about that,
Was the
That's
planet's
all right.
name Krypton?
Yes. Yes, it was. So they launched the rocket and eventually get back to the deburrator. And they find out that this rocket's going to take about 500 years to get where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a little back and forth about being a, Lord Avon. Did she really believe you were a god? Yes, for a while. Because what did it feel like? Blake said, don't you know? Says, yes, I don't like the responsibility either. And Avon looked at him like, go screw yourself, Blake.
Well, everyone looked up to him. Yep.
Yeah.
As it was promised, the Lord Avon will save our race.
Did you clip the part where when she first started saying how great it was, where Villa said, counting yourself, that's two people that think you're wonderful.
That's a funny line.
That's the next one. Yep. But did she know Avon's name from outside? Did she hear that it was Avon?
No.
They said her name. They said his name.
The prophecy stated that the guardian that was left, so they choose a guardian to guard the space and to guard the embryos. And the prophecy was that the guardian would meet this savior, this Messiah for them. And when his name was uttered, she was meant to say it and declare him Lord. So he is Lord Avon.
Why was it Avon and not Villa?
Because he said,
is that explained?
Yes, he says, you are hardly the stuff that gods are made of.
Yeah. She chooses Avon because Lord Avon, he looks like the kind of person who could deliver some embryos. And evidently, Villa doesn't look like a man who could deliver some embryos. And that might be too dirty of a joke for this show, but I'm just going to leave it like right there. I'm just going to
I like it. Go for it. Brogu from my whole hometown. What's up, buddy?
Brogu!
Yeah, she just assumed she assumed he was the leader, and he was.
Yes.
Yeah, no, there was nothing that she didn't know Avon, quote unquote.
She didn't know it was Avon. No, she didn't know his name until they say his name.
But if you were the guardian of the 90 and you're waiting around for someone to deliver your embryos, and you look at the people who entered the embryo chamber, what would you think? Like for me, I think Avon's hot. So I'm thinking that's Lord Avon right there. Because if somebody's going to be delivering embryos out of that pair, it's going to be Avon. It can't be Villa.
Wow.
Villa can unlock any door.
I'm going to run away.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's no place.
Sorry, Clobby. It's just true. Sorry.
Hey, Brogu.
That's all right. No. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
This Lord Avon, he can deliver.
Get your chastity belt here.
I wonder why she picked you. Well, you are hardly the stuff that gods are made of. And you are, apparently. Gotta love it.
True.
God, dang it.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. No, okay. I'll try to find that lady's name. There we go.
The woman of the 90. The guardian of the 90.
Suzanne Farmer.
Yeah.
There we
Can we call her the 90 guardian?
Or me God. I mean, yeah.
Well, we can call her me God. I like it, but it sounds like maggot. And she's far too pretty, and she's wearing a nightie. Good evening, Don Power Ranger.
Don Ranger Power. All right. Okay. So anyway, That's pretty much your basic layout synopsis for the episode Deliverance, my friends. Now I will turn it over to our wonderful first officer who may or may not have some notes. I'm going to think you may have
I
some
do
notes.
have notes. Ravenscroft, yes. I hope you'll be able to stick around for the full discussion. But yes, please go ahead and dump that in the chat if you have
look, anybody, in fact, every time we go to the notes, here's what we'll do. Since it's not like a Saturday Star Trek where there's a billion of them anyway. Yeah. Go ahead now. Feel free to put your any review and rating that you have of the episode, and we'll save them. And once we get all ready done with our stuff, we'll read them. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's true. And Scuba Pete, I agree. Gan, use your best Gan voice to say, "Are there any other Guardians with 90s?" Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are there any other 90 Guardians?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if your name is
You are
Ned.
truly Lord.
Counting yourself, that makes 2 people who think you're wonderful.
Hey, Villa always has the best comebacks. I mean, it's just so great.
Okay, I'll do my notes, but I have to just clickety-click some of these cute people. Okay, so here we go. The opening scene is super scary. The opening scene is super scary because it is very real science fiction, and it's the cerebral scare that people who watch science fiction, it's what they're truly after. And insofar as what I mean by that is that it reminds me of the dangers of hostile environments, and how dangerous it would be to be in outer space. In many ways, I often liken the dangers of outer space to being in a submarine. So there's no escape beyond the vehicle. And so that opening scene really drives home that there's no air. I think a lot of people, if they were ever faced with what it is actually like to be in outer space, I don't think they would react too well, because once you come to the realization that there's nothing beyond the capsule, you're in deep doo-doo. Servalan celebrates killing with a satisfied smile. It is one of the most disgusting smiles I've ever seen in my life. The woman is gorgeous, but completely diabolical. She's psychotic. Jenna is left behind because she dawdles. She pulls a Neelix and she dawdles. I do love the detail that the teleporter doesn't work unless attached to someone. Now, this is another science fiction detail that I think is incredibly important. The bracelet doesn't teleport by itself. So you're not just beaming a Delta aboard. You're not beaming a communicator back home. The Zen, the Liberator, the teleport system, like Zen, is cognizant. It processes its benefit to life, and it does this all the time. So we have this proof in dialogue, and we have this proof in the details of the folks who write this show. So it's incredibly detail oriented, and it shows the due care and attention that Terry Nation gives to his scripts. So I think it's very, very cool and vital that the bracelet does not teleport by itself. Callie is taken hostage. Once again, I have no qualms with this. I think this is super realistic. I think it's realistic that Jenna was left behind, and I think it's realistic that Callie was taken hostage. We're talking about women who weigh roughly the same amount I do. I mean, I'm 5'8". I was 5'9", but after a certain age, you start to lose your height. I'm around 5'8" right now, and I'm just a little over $1. And Callie and Jenna are just over $1. And I would imagine they're around 5'4" to 5'6", so they're a great deal shorter than me. So these are little women. And so when you get thrown around, and it's quite dangerous. And so
Plus, I just want to add to the planet on the gravity on that planet was 1 1/4 Earth units, so it was actually been much tougher and the creatures would be a lot stronger too with that extra gravity on the planet. Yep.
Yeah, and also with them living outdoors, they would be quite stealthy in in kidnapping her, in actually getting a hold of her and doing it in a quiet way. You can't just wander off, and you certainly have to come trigger happy when you're only a buck and a bit. And so she's a buck and a bit, and so is Callie. And when you're very slight like that, and you're teeny tiny, and you're in that situation, you need to be careful. I mean, this is realistic. This is before we lost our minds and started behaving like we all had a frontal lobotomy. A woman who's a buck and a bit isn't going up against a 6'5" guy who can bench press a pacer and knock him out with one punch. It's just not realistic. The Servalon and Travis exchange is excellent. So I love this beautiful exchange between these two incredibly evil people. And I think that it is amazing that they reassure one another's psychotic, sociopathic behavior. So we come in with Travis at the outset, testing what is loyalty, in battle, what is leadership, how do people earn your trust? Do you have trust? Do you have trust? Can you trust any of your subordinates? And what is the relationship of that leadership and being subordinate? And that's the discussion that's on offer here with Terry Nation, as he tests for the audience the very limits of what you do to your subordinates. And if you want to be a caretaker of your subordinates, especially when they nurture and support your reign, your power. So here we have Travis expressing the danger in getting rid of everyone who would give their life for you. And so now the bodies are piling up, and that's not good when you're in the kind of leadership role they're in as sociopaths. So Travis is in the trenches, literally and figuratively, and so he must worry about whether or not he has the allegiance of his men. And how many of them will fall, and he'll be left standing by himself, and he'll have to face Servalon alone. Servalon is so insane that she does not even have to reckon this. She's the evil in the ivory tower that needn't worry about being overthrown because he's merely muscle. She is using her enforcement through political means. She controls the government. She controls the money. And so she's not quite as afraid to lose those underlings, those subordinates who support her power. She thinks of Travis as merely the meathead who gets shit done. That's an incredibly intelligent conversation to have on television. And it's a masterwork. It's a master stroke. And I love being treated like an adult when I'm watching a television show. So just bravo. I doff my cap to the great Terry Nation. The deserter families are sold into slavery on the outer worlds. This just shows there's no discrimination here other than class discrimination. And if you're not in the military and you're not a part of the bureaucracy, then you're nothing. You're a meat sack to these people. So once again, some wonderful characterization by Terry Nation. Migat is, of course, the hubba hubba moment of the show, and Migat deserves tons of hubba hubba, although I would like to call her the guardian of the nighty, because Migat it's unbefitting such a marvelous woman who doesn't even have her high beams on. I love that Avon doesn't take advantage of the guardian of the nightgown's worship. Pardon?
I said a good thing it wasn't foggy.
Oh.
Right? I mean, imagine if it was even a little bit nippy out. Bing! And then you'd be like, whoa, you're going to put out an eye with those chesticles. Anyway, but it was cozy, evidently, in the cave. So I love that Avon doesn't take advantage of the Guardian of the Nightgown's worship, but he enjoys her attractiveness, and he also enjoys their sexual tension. The first time I watched this show, I did not find Paul Darrow attractive. Now, holy hubba hubba Batman. He works for me, and I like seeing him behave this way. We know for a fact that he would never act untoward. He would never be ungentlemanly. He is every second, every hot minute of the knight in shining armor. But he's so cerebral and so self-deprecating that he'll enjoy the banter surrounding how he would like to ravage this woman, as indeed they have some really, really intense sexual attraction. Both in real life and on stage. This is the oozing of that nice chemistry that people like to see. Definitely not Kirodo. Anyway, Villa has such a great dialogue in this episode. It seems like every zinger has been given to him. And it is just great because Avon sees his great lines and raises him double. And it's just great dialogue. It's so believable. It's so enjoyable. And we have such a fake world that we live in today where people say, oh, laughing out loud. No one's laughing out loud. Nothing's funny. It's all crap now. And here, like, if you're sipping a beer, a mint julep or a tea or a hot chocolate or a cherry Coca-Cola, you might spit your drink at some of these lines because they're just savage. They're just so lovely and savage. I love that Avon is disgusted by the comparison to Blake because he finds Blake's behavior he doesn't like Blake's behavior because he thinks that Blake has a savior complex. He thinks that Blake sort of sees himself as one who will deliver all humanity, all humanoids. He will deliver them from Servalan. And so he has this obsession with taking on his role to do this. And Avon sees life in a much more complex way. He sees heroes as the most vulnerable to corruption and to this idealized vision of themselves, even though they fully believe that they're just warm-hearted, great, wonderful heroes. And so Avon is strong in his belief that you should also question heroes. So this is all great, juicy stuff that I admire immensely. This is marvelous cerebral television. This is marvelous science fiction, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I gave it a 6.5 out of 7.
6.75.
Yes, sir.
My notes. Yep.
Mark.
All right. Yep. Yeah, I really like this. Some minor quibbles with the episode, but it's almost because it's a two-parter too. Really, I mean, it's like half the episode, so it's a great setup for the next episode. But when it ends, you want to watch more, which I guess is a good thing too, right? So
yes, it is sort of a setup. Yeah.
So it's a setup. So there's some good stuff in it. I just would the ship be ready for 700 years, I guess, or the ship has been sitting there 700 years, and they're gonna flip the switch, and then boom, it's gonna take off, without any problem. I mean, I guess it's maybe supposed to be really advanced technology, although the crew of the Liberator is kind of scoffing at it. And Scuba does bring up a good point. Why did they leave Migat behind? And she did have about
there. It's her home.
Yeah, they did have about 100 people in that colony left on the planet, although they said the numbers were dwindling.
Yeah, 100-something people.
They could have offered. I think they could have had a line in there. Would you like us to take you to a safer planet without radiation? I don't know. Ava maybe would have. I don't know. If I had that reaction from someone, maybe I would have said, "Do you want to come with us too?" So, Ava had some strong willpower there, I guess, or he was the better.
Would you?
Better man.
I don't think you would.
Well, I would say, hey, do you need to hitch a ride to a better planet?
No. Okay. So you are like super sexually attracted to a girl, and she is like hot and heavy for you. And you two are giving each other goo eyes, but you realize that she has the IQ of a carrot, and you could ravage her if you wanted to. But
wow.
then you would have to know that she had the IQ of a carrot.
Well,
so it's very ungentlemanly. Are you saying that you would do it?
No, but she didn't have the IQ.
I mean, no.
Do you think?
I meant no. Sorry.
What do you mean? Somebody following you around, quoting prophecy, like they might as well be bonking themselves on the head, like bonk on the head.
Bonk.
Oh Lord, Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. It's
I don't
like,
know. I've
no.
never been in that position. So
Yeah, I don't know.
my better half talks to me that all the time.
I'd be fine.
All the time, right? Yeah. Lord, what did you like for dinner tonight? Can I fetch you your slippers? Yeah, no. If Maureen ever hears this, I'm gonna be banished. But
right, this is what I'm saying.
But
Like,
maybe
I
a
think,
lesser written show would have done that too, I guess, or had
yeah,
her
well,
become part of the
that's
crew
just
for a
it.
while.
Because then you bump uglies, and then you just leave her on the planet. But I don't know. I know a lot of men, and I think that a lot of guys would like to say in front of their buddies as they jab each other in the ribs with their elbows that they would totally tap that. And they'd be like, I'll be on that. But I actually think most guys that I know would not. They would be like, look, Migat, you have the mind of a child. Hubba hubba, but no thank you. Call me when you're normal, and and we're equals. I think a lot of guys would, in truth, I think a lot of men want their equal. I think I give men the benefit of the doubt. I love men. And I think men really want their equal. I think a lot of guys they're not looking for somebody who's, with a childlike mind who follows them around going,
No.
Lord, Lord.
Yeah, she doesn't.
As it was promised, the Lord Avon will save our race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how childlike so much as she is primitive for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because they couldn't even turn the lights on. And this quote kind of sums that up too.
Migat, I'm sorry you waited so long.
Our waiting brought you.
That seems like a poor reward somehow.
Yeah.
Yep.
But she
Now,
was
tell me
raised.
that
She
isn't
was
awesome dialogue.
It's brilliant. She was raised to. That's all she wanted.
Yeah.
And so I mean, and she's home amongst her. She didn't seem unhappy once they got what they wanted. She was fine. So yeah.
Well,
no
plus you never see, for budgetary reasons, I'm sure you never see her anyone else on the planet other than the Neanderthals. So you don't see that. You don't see where she's living, and
her job was to stay right there and keep watching for somebody to show up one day. So that's
Now her job, so she fulfilled her job.
Yeah, her job is done now.
But any woman with a 3-digit IQ who was like a fully formed person with no type of, radioactive cognitive damage would be like, okay, Avon, let's do this. Let's make some babies. I'm ready to receive some embryos.
Wow.
I never even thought about her intelligence in any way, shape, or form. So
I didn't either.
That's a different perspective.
Well, just because she's primitive doesn't mean she's not intelligent or even childlike. She's just very devout. I don't know if I would use childlike so much as primitive. And yeah, she has some pretty backward beliefs, and he should. It's compared to him, she's an innocent for sure.
Yeah, subservience does not turn me on. Like it doesn't turn me on. I'm the subservient thing of following somebody going, Lord, Lord. No, that's a no for me.
I'm willing to try it out a couple of times, but maybe once or twice if she's that hot, Anyway, so
and the other thing that nitpicky was a couple other things I was going to say, but nitpicky was Enzo holding Callie down like face down on the floor for hours like that. Well, first of all, the
guy was desperate.
No, but Blake should have shown him Echo, and then he would have fallen right to sleep. But
true. Watch this TV show from the 31st century.
I know. I just thought that was, kind of crazy that they would have set her up in that position. Like at least put her on the couch or hold the gun on someone. But I know they were desperate. But I'm like, oh my god, poor Callie is going to be face down for how many hours is it to get to this?
The guy was barely alive. It was a good while. Yeah.
I think it was 8. I think I should just let everyone know right now, officially in the chat, at 38 minutes past the hour, Mars Monkey Max won the internet. He has won the entire internet. He can drop the mic. You need to turn this into a hashtag because this is hands down the best comment ever today for 24 hours. Microwaved eggs.
What's I don't get it.
The job was to guard the eggs.
Microwaved eggs. Oh, okay.
Yeah, due to the radioactive fallout. Oh
eggs. God. I did eggs.
Well, that's why they
So-
were
Smart and funny
superheroes
joke.
on the other planet.
So Gan, you're Mark, you're
Oh well, I just had a couple of quick. Sorry, just a couple.
Oh, keep going.
Notes that I.
No, that's fine.
found.
I
Yeah,
just thought you were done.
Yep,
I never know when someone's done or not.
Yeah, yep. So let me get back to where did my tab go here? So a couple of notes from the wiki that were interesting. Early drafts of the episode had Blake and Avon's roles switched around, with Blake leading the party in the planet and Avon staying on the ship, restoring Orac in Orac. Yeah, the roles were swapped because it was inconceivable to have Avon meekly handing Orac over to Blake. Also, the location filming for the previous episode Bounty conflicted with this one. This is the last episode in which Gan's limiter is mentioned. For this episode, Avon wears a silver coat while teleporting down to planets instead of color-coded tracksuits worn by the other characters. That's a cool-looking silver coat, I thought. Yep. Gareth Thomas and Tony Conter had previously appeared in the Avengers episode Murderville. The Cephalon fertility cell rocket ship is a model of a Russian Soyuz. Oh, interesting. The Soyuz, so they modified the Soyuz capsule. Interesting, yep. And Susan Farmer was previously considered for the role of Callie. The ratings were 9 million people, and this first aired on, let's see, what was the air date?
How many dogs?
March 20. What do you mean dogs?
I said people. Like you made sure you made the distinction. I mean people. So I'm wondering whether they take ratings of dogs and cats. And
I don't know. I think it was probably more popular with the dogs.
Okay,
yeah, not the cats.
Just curious.
Yeah, and March 20th, 1978. This first aired on the BBC.
Yowzer.
So 1978. Yep.
There you go.
A long time ago. Yep. So Galaxy Far Far.
Yep.
So it was a good. So I'd give it a 5.5. I think. Or 5.5. Yeah, it's like a B. It's a B episode. I think. I'm waiting for that next episode. I did like it, but there was some nice moments in it. But
sure.
First parter. So I give it a 5.5, which is a good rating. I think.
I stand under. Well, as you all know, I rank and rate every episode of Blake 7, all 52 episodes. And Deliverance, season 1, episode 12, story by Terry Nation, directed by Michael E. Bryant, ranks on my list at number 36, at a rating of 4.5 out of 7. I like the episode, but it's mostly just set up stuff for something to come. A lot of great scenes together with some padded out spots, just to fill out time. It was very necessary. That's why 4.5. 4.5 is a very solid rating. It makes it a solid. If I get anything over a 3 to a 3.5, is a solid good episode. So you got to be really special to get to the 6th to the 7th. So, but it is very good, solid setup with a lot of very good stuff in it. So I give it a 4.5, and ranked again at number 36.
So I think we pretty much agree. Yeah, a lot of setup, but good episode. Yep.
Yeah. So,
and if they had taken McGad on the ship as another crew member, would have rated it more highly.
You'd like that more, huh? You'd like it better. Let's see what we have written down here from our friends. Again, Dave G. Sound says, I have to go to bed. I know all these so well anyway, and B7 Universe in general is 7 out of 7. He said, I'll rewatch on the morrow for the reviews. Mucho heart to you all. All right, Dave G.
Nights
Ravenscroft says 6 out of 7. Plot a bit recycled from other sci-fi. A la Star Trek, the original series Paradise Syndrome, and the film Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Oh, I kind of see what you're saying there. But the cast makes it work with sparkling dialogue and character insight.
I totally agree, and I love that description. Sparkling dialogue.
Indeed,
sorry,
sparkle.
I'm losing my voice. I'll be right back.
Okay. Avon's hesitance re godhood is a rare example of humility. His exchange with Blake at the end reinforces to that those two are well paired and able to both understand and infuriate each other. Yeah, good point. Avon's insistence on rescuing Jenna echoes Blake's earlier thought, recally, and are in stark contrast to future decisions. Again, we see them clashing and working together at the same time. The mystery surrounding what ORAC is well done. Is done well, excuse me. Hinted at as a weapon, but later revealed to be something even more powerful and unpredictable and prickly. Yes, that's true.
What a great
Absolutely
name.
true. And in Mars Maki Maxis, now I want to watch it. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that wasn't a review, but I thought you would want to see that.
Well, there you go. Glad to know. Good to know that.
Yeah.
So, RRTNZ. Hey there,
RRTNZ. Hi.
Wait, is this the episode where Clobby admits he really loved Man of Steel? I believe it's called Hell Freezes Over. Just kidding, or am I? Thank you. Well, RRTNZ, I'll admit to you that I do love Man of Steel. Wait for it.
Wait, I'm waiting.
I love...
What?
I love trashing it. How about that? I'm trying to find something positive to say about it. I love making fun of it and trashing it, insulting it, and insulting Zack Snyder. I don't insult fans of it, but I do love beating up on the movie. So you got me there.
The score was amazing.
I love hating it. How about that? So you got
that's
something.
better.
I love to hate it. Man of Steel, indeed. I always get. I do. The only thing I don't love is when people mispronounce it and call it Man of Steel. It's just it's Man of Steel.
Common mistake. It's a common mistake.
Yeah, but I'm trying to correct it everywhere I possibly can.
You have to correct the Universe Club.
Indeed. Well, some people continue to call it that. I don't know. But there you go.
Here's that quote that was just referenced.
Did you really think you were a god?
For a while.
How did it feel?
Don't you know?
Yes. I don't like the responsibility either.
Fist fight.
Avon drills a hole through him there. Professor R2, the Man of Steel is great to poop on.
You are correct, Professor R2.
Welcome,
and good
Professor.
evening, R2. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Professor. To poop on. Yeah, I love it.
There's
Triumph.
just a lot of poo.
Hey, well, you know what? Princess Fiona, I just got that. It's no Have You Seen the Sunrise, but still better than most. That's, of course, a reference. I'm pretty sure you're referencing a Magnum PI episode, a classic episode. I don't know if you ever saw that one. There was one where Magnum's buddy had been killed by this Russian assassin, his best buddy, right? And it was like played by Blows Fenton. And at the end of the episode, Magnum's got a gun on him, but he tells Magnum, he was ordered not to do anything about it. He had complete diplomatic immunity, all that stuff, and he was getting away. He was basically throwing it in Magnum's face that he was getting away, and there was nothing he could do about it. And he even asked him, and one of the things the guy always asked Magnum, "Did you see the sunrise?" So he turns around to walk away, and Magnum calls his name. I'm spoiling it, Fiona, and says, "Did you see the sunrise?" The next thing you hear is boom, blows him away. I spoiled it.
TV, that network. Well, it is 40 years old, but for network
that is
TV,
that is what you're
amazing.
Oh, you remember that? Yeah.
That was a classic episode.
That is what you're referring to, isn't it, Fiona? Am I wrong? Anyway,
gotta be an 80s child to know that one.
Yeah, I guess that's what she's referring to. I could be wrong. There was another one. What was the one where he was fighting some like assassin dude? And God almost killed TC. He's like, his giveaway was if he blinked, then he would throw it. He would throw his lightning speed. If he blinked his eyes, you're dead. And he warned Magnum about it after he'd almost killed him. So Magnum ended up having a gun right on the guy's head, and the guy sits there for a second, and you see the guy blink, but doesn't get his eyes open. Magnum just shoots right in time. Boom. He shot the dude right in the face, man.
Good evening, Oliver Belmonte. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oliver Belmonte. Hello, I've missed. You missed. Did you miss?
No,
Yes, Magna
a
PI.
lot of people out of just courtesy, because a lot of the people
No.
in our chat are friends. They say hello to one another, but sometimes they're worried that the chat is zooming by so fast that they miss someone. So the Tetrarch of Apathy is just saying hail to anyone who he missed.
Yes, Magna PI. I watched all the episodes, says Fiona. Tom Selleck was your first crush. Well, you know, a lot of women. I've heard women say that before. He was quite
He was mustachioed.
They liked him, didn't they? The ladies liked that boy.
They did.
That was a cool show, though. That was actually not
I
that
liked
filthy
Magnum
remake.
PI. I wasn't a
that
big
filthy
TV
remake.
person, but I did like Magnum PI.
Said Archer did a great send-up of that episode. Oh, cool. I love the original Magnum. A teeny bit more than the recent one. A teeny bit more. No offense to the fans of the recent one. No. Don, you don't have to offend the fans of the recent one. I'll do it for you. If you're a fan of the recent one, you're a moron, fool, idiot, jackass pile of... I'm not going to call you a bad person. I'm teasing, but the new one is filth.
Why would they remake Magnum PI?
Why would you remake... Again, by the way, if you do like it, you know, I'm just teasing you. No,
He's just joking.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't mean anything personally. Anyone who likes it, but it's to me, it's trash.
Higgins is much much cuter now in the new iteration.
No, no.
The recent one is garbage. Higgins is a chick. You know that, right? And Magnum's a short.
Get out of here.
No, Magnum is a short little.
He's really good at yoga.
Come on, get lost.
She's MI6.
And he's a short little Hispanic dude.
Get lost. Get out of here.
Yep. Yeah. It's
stupid.
It's very popular to Move Network.
Higgins is hot
on
now.
air. Yeah, Higgins is hot now. Yes.
Yeah.
Get lost. Sick. Get out of here.
That's not Higgins. John Hillerman is the only true Higgins. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here now. What you got
There's
there,
a
number
new
one?
MacGyver, Mars Monkey Max. No.
Yeah.
No.
So, well, these remakes.
And they remade Hawaii Five-O.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was on for 8 years.
No,
yeah.
no.
Good.
No.
You know, if they called it like Son of Hawaii Five-O, there was some good episodes on that, I have to say. And the new Magnum, the one thing they did handle very well was the treatment of veterans. And they did.
How can you watch that shit?
Because I had to watch it.
How?
I was forced
No,
to.
you didn't.
I wanted to know what.
Somebody broke into your house and held a gun. Somebody broke into your house.
You sound like my friend Chris, who was yelling at me for watching it too. He's like, "How could you watch that?"
Somebody broke in and said, held you at gunpoint like Callie was on the Liberator.
Yeah,
and held you on the floor and said, "You have to watch this shit."
I give everything a chance.
No.
They did the veterans. They did have did deal with veterans issues very well on that new show. And they brought TC and Rick back as a guest. That I did like to see them back.
It's dumb.
The show. Again, not that there aren't better shows made, obviously Star Trek, things like that, but as far as for that show, all that ever needed to be said and done of 9 years of that show, it never needed to be messed with ever. Why make another one? It's all you
money.
It's all been said about that character. Remaking it, making it with inferior actors who aren't the character.
Just make a new character.
Just
make a new show.
I only watched 2 seasons of it too, just so you know.
I can't believe it lasted longer than that.
Gross.
Oh, it's still on the air. It's still on right now.
Gross.
It actually
moved
networks.
Agreed.
Yeah. And of course,
wow,
Magnum is an
Scuba
ABC
Pete, you too? Man, you guys, all right.
No, I don't think he meant that.
No, I think he does.
I've lost my faith in both of you.
No, that's not it. I think he's making.
Hawaii Five-O show wasn't that bad.
No, it's a trap.
There were some good
episodes I think he's
on
making
that show.
fun of it. No, there's no way he
Scott
likes
Conn
it.
was good on that.
Well, all I know is that Mark has had needs this.
Personal foul, crackback, 85, offense, 15-yard penalty.
And Scuba needs this.
Your agonizer, please.
Leslie and I watch it. Oh my God, man.
Oh my God, he's being serious. Scoob. Scoob, what are you doing to me, bud?
What's your war criminals?
The premise is such a great premise too. So
No, they're not remaking Simon and Simon. Pop, pop, pop.
I hope not.
Pop.
I
Don't
guess.
you swear in the chat.
Oh, now I got to call a foul. You hope they don't make Simon and Simon, but you put up with Magnum remake. What? What's the difference?
They've remade Roadhouse.
No,
Get out of here! You couldn't make me say the F word on air. Get
Jake
out of
Gyllenhaal,
here!
He's a Midnight's Edge. Tom was posting about it today on the Twitters.
What?
The Roadhouse remake.
Yeah, Roadhouse remake. Okay, you love
Another
that
movie
too,
you don't
won't
need
you?
to remake. You don't need to remake.
I can't take you seriously about saying they don't need to remake anything. They don't need to remake Magnum, and they did it.
I didn't say I liked it. I just said I watched it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Mark,
different.
you deserve shin kicks.
But they did handle the veterans very well. But
which
Hawaii
one do you want me to
5-0
watch,
was
Scoob?
good. Hawaii 5-0 had some decent shows. The actors are good. So
by the way,
I never thought of them as the characters. But
all right. Let's clear something up right now, everybody. We're just I can only speak for me, not number one. I'm just having a go at Mark to mess with him. Even though, by the way, there's multiple things can be true at the same time. I'm serious in that I hate these stupid remakes. I absolutely being totally honest with him, but I can't understand how anybody would watch him. But he's my friend, and I'm just giving him shit about it. He watches whatever you want to watch. What do I care? I'm just don't understand it. And so it's being honest in that I really can't imagine how anybody would watch these stupid remakes. And it's part of the problem why Hollywood sucks so much that they keep remaking everything. That's part of the problem. At the same time, everyone who might not know us that well, we're just having a go at each other, just goofing off.
I'm not serious. I'm not serious either, folks. I have
all
something
in good
against
fun.
Remakes all the way around. I don't think that there should ever be any remakes ever. I also come from a time in history, because I'm Gen X, where we used to make fun of sequels. Sequels were very taboo at that time, and it was seen as
actually. Yeah.
You know, something that horror movies did, not something any serious filmmaker would do. So I'm totally against remakes, but I will tell you something. I love Mark like he is my brother, and I completely respect him, and I love teasing him, but it doesn't mean more than that.
Yeah,
and Scuba and Leslie are actually my friends in real life, and I would never ever make fun of them. I love them very much. Although I'm sending Scuba Pete a shin kick right now for telling me to watch new Magnum PI. I love these people. I mean it.
I just want to. The reason why I did that, folks, is because sometimes we go over the top and we realize they're probably lurkers that don't know us very well, or if you're watching for the first time, hey, drunk 3PO, what's up, my friend?
Hey, hello,
an honor to see you. And so I threw that out there to clear that up, that we're just goofing on each other and we're not really. I mean, look, I'm being serious. I hate remakes. I think they're asinine. Remaking Magnum, remaking any of these shows is moronic to me. But if you watch it, you know, other than Mark, of course, we have to be mean to him.
It's in his contract.
Yes. But again, hey, Drunk 3PO, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. A great honor to have you here. You got to come back and hang with me sometime, I hope. And what do you want to show before we do our Star Trek comic review? Did you have something to show us, number one?
Oh, I do, and I almost forgot because I'm so sick. But could we please show what Scuba Pete and Leslie sent me? The Scubas sent me some gifts. If you wouldn't mind putting them up for me, please, boss.
Yeah, which one first?
It doesn't matter. I love both of them equally.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
So
that one
here's
or the
the setup, folks. Scuba Pete and his beautiful wife are friends of mine, and they're antique experts and they're toy experts. And so they go to lots of auctions and antique shows, and they're digging around for extremely rare things. And while they were shopping, they grabbed a lamp for Clobby. And they grabbed me this beautiful Star Trek cassette of the soundtrack. I actually at first thought that it was the audio from the show, but I've been extremely ill for 2 weeks. And then they also got me this. Clobby, could you show the next one?
Okay.
The soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
And this is the original Star Trek the motion picture glassware. I'm not sure we're in the United States, but I just love it so much, and whoever had it before me actually valued it so much that it looks as though they only used it as a candle sometimes, like a votive to hold like a candle. So I have the inside soaking in vinegar right now to remove all that without damaging the cup because it's so old.
Is that
And
Burger King, McDonald's,
I
or
think it was Burger King.
maybe Burger King. I'm not sure because I'm
I'm not
Canadian.
sure.
But then after that, I believe I'm going to turn this into my Saturday night Star Trek glass. So this is what I'll
Oh.
be sipping my
wait,
my
you
tea
can't
or
drink
my
out of
water.
that?
No drinking out of that. Are you crazy?
It's too precious.
It's 40-something
No.
years old. They said it was Burger King.
No, I'm gonna
Burger King,
100%. I'm gonna 100% drink out of the glass because I believe that's why he got it for me. One night we were talking about it, and he just said that he said, "Oh, I got that for you," and I said, "If you
Nice.
got that for me, I will use that for Saturday night Star Trek." So I'll wash it by hand. It's never going in the dishwasher.
You better put some Tranya in there.
I'm definitely going to
Yes.
drink Tranya in it. But
Knights of Old. Hello, Knights of Old
Hey,
says
hello.
a new person. I haven't seen you here before. Says use it. So Knights of Old thinks you should use it. So.
I'm going to because that's what Scuba and Leslie wanted me to do. Scuba Pete and Leslie, the Scubas love me, and they're really good friends of mine. Like in real life, behind the scenes, they've just been very caring and beautiful friends, and we're like parents. We're like parent buddies. So I just really love this couple very much, and they would want me to use it. So it's not going in the dishwasher. It's always going to be washed by hand, but it's definitely going to be the Saturday night Star Trek chalice. And chalice, that is
nice.
right, folks.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
Way to
it's gonna be
go,
fun, yeah.
Scuba and Leslie. Thank you so much. And again, I'll show it again. They gave me this wonderful lamp that they found for me, which I really appreciate this very much. The thing, of course, when you turn it on, it looks like that. Oop.
Yeah, we need to research that because the places where they shop are some pretty
Yeah.
special places. They actually have a couple of podcasts that they participate in as they try and
Yes.
find extraordinarily rare toys. So Scuba Pete basically has it all. He has a museum going on in his house of really rare and beautiful and precious things from pop culture. And so it's just incredible to me that my friends, that I've made friends that love me so much that when they're out antiquing and they're doing these shows where they're talking about, this is super rare and you should get this and this goes with this and this is what this is valued as, and they're enjoying it like they're not antiques, like that they're a part of their present life. And in that whole dialogue with all of these people, I mean, Scuba Pete and Leslie travel internationally to share their love of this highly collectible, super expensive stuff. And in all of that, they were thinking of me and Clobby when they walked into an antique shop and they picked that up for us. That's what good friends they are. So I just want to send a hug to Scuba Pete. I love you very much. And please tell Leslie that I love her and give her a kiss on her cheek. And thank you. There is nothing in the world to me like this. It's the most incredible thing. It's almost better than a friend who lives really close to you. Because like I said, you reach into my life to show me that you care for me and to go to all of that trouble and expense to send that to Clobby and I, especially to Canada. Wow. I just love you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. And I think it's time to review a Star Trek comic. Because I know you're not feeling well, but we'll get this done for you, then we'll get you out of here.
Yep.
A little earlier, because I know you're not feeling all that great. So if you're still up game to do this, of course.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine. Sometimes I have to shut my stupid mic off because I have like a coughing seizure. But let's just keep going. I'm having fun. You guys have been looking forward to this all week.
Oh yeah, well, me too. That's what I love. Okay, everybody, as you know, we are in CLOBBY'S Clubhouse. Well, of course, we just got through reviewing our Blake 7 episode. Incidentally, next week will be the final episode of Blake 7 season 1. It's called ORAC. Then after that, the week after that, we're not going to review an episode. We're going to look back at the whole first season. We're going to do a first season special, and then the week after that, we'll start with season 2. How about that? That is the way the captain declares it. So, not even up for discussion. Just saying that, Fanty, because you know how he is. I don't know. I had to pick on Fanty because he was right there. All right. Does that sound good to you, number one? Everyone's
Let's do it.
All righty then. So, but anyway, now that we've had our Blake 7 review, it is now time for our Star Trek comic book review segment. As you know, a little while back, we decided to. I decided we would just, about a couple years back when I first started on YouTube, I did a stream about the history of Star Trek comic books. Big Trek fan series, you all know. And now we decided we're going to, now that number one, we're getting into Trek comics a little bit, we thought we would start reviewing one every week. And we've been doing this since about September. We started reviewing a Trek comic. Star Trek comics started not too long after the original series, not too long before it went off the air. Gold Key Comics bought took over the license for them. The UK had them as well, but in the States it was Gold Key, and then around when the Star Trek the Motion Picture was released, Marvel took over for a very short time, and then not too long after that, early '80s, DC took over for about a decade or so, and eventually a couple of the other Star Trek properties like Deep Space Nine and Voyager were by Malibu, and then in 1997. Marvel and Paramount got together to make Paramount Comics. So here are our opening credits for our Star Trek Comics review segment. Let us go.
Warp drive, Mr. Scott.
Ahead warp 1, Mr. Sulu.
Accelerating to warp 1, sir.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the great Rod Thunderheart and Briscoe Rob. I don't think I've seen you here before. I believe I'm saying that right. Briscoe Rob, welcome to CLOBBERIN Times.
Hey.
Honored to have you both here.
Good evening and welcome.
Friends. Absolutely. Always good to see friends here and new friends and old alike. And let's see here. Okay, so tonight's Star Trek comic is where we go. Should have had it sewn already.
Larry, could you please check out your Star Trek Untold Stories? You're looking at episode 3 or issue 3, I guess, for the comic books people.
Yes. So as I said, as in our opener, Marvel and Paramount got together in 1997. This one's from 98 though, and did various Star Trek comic book series. This one is called Star Trek Untold Voyages. So we are issue number 3 tonight. The past comes back to haunt McCoy. Mm-hmm. Bob, of course, as you all know with these comics, the Star Trek Paramount comics, they have a nice little recap page for those. I mean, those wondering what was going on in the previous issues. But we all know what was going on in those. We don't need to recap ourselves. We open up with a situation already started. We have a shuttlecraft All right, that is entering Starbase 11, which is a place we've been before on the original series, incidentally. On the shuttlecraft, a rather nervous young lady and a silhouetted young man are, well, she's obviously has a phaser, a motion picture phaser to her head, as you can see. Is that color Starfleet issue? Says Knights of Old. Which one? Oh, we'll find out.
Her brown with the 3 gold tabs on her shoulder.
She's with the medical corps. Probably we'll find out later, right?
Well, she was, but we'll explain that in a few minutes. Stick with us, Knights of Old.
Yeah. So anyway, unfortunately, this nice lady who is flying the shuttle under gunpoint gets vaporized by a horrible little thing right here. It might be Michael J. Pollard, but those who don't know that name, I didn't spoil or anything. Star Trek Untold Voyages Past Imperfect is the title of the story. Writer Glenn Greenberg. Penciler Michael Collins. Weird. Inker Keith. I'll have to tell you later.
Okay.
If you remind me.
All right.
Inker. I just realized something really weird about that. Inker Keith Williams. Colorist Matt Webb. Letterer Chris Ilopoulos. I've always had a problem with that dude's name. Nothing personal. He's a good letterer. Editor Tim Toohey. Editor-in-Chief Bob Hair-Ass, because that's what he is. Inspired by a concept by D.C. Fontana. And, of course, medical log, basically, there's, the ship. This is pretty nice. Again, some good art in this issue, some not so good art, but I always like it when they get the Enterprise right.
That's a great page.
That's a nice page.
It's a very nice page.
Yeah. Always we have to, compliment the art. Let's see. What happened? Oh, you're back.
I'm back. Yep. Sorry.
Where were I? So, anyway, basically, Captain's personal log, Dr. Leonard H. McCoy, recording star date 76831. Hike. I didn't want to do that. Oh, no. The Enterprise is orbiting Starbase 11, where the crew will be taking a long-awaited, much-deserved shore leave and much-needed shore leave, blah, blah, blah. And here I'll be reunited with my daughter, Joanna, whom I haven't seen since before I returned to Starfleet over 3 years ago during the Fiji crisis. I'm very pleased that she was able to get away from Earth and come here for a few days, and I'm looking forward to catching up on lost time with her. Star Trek, created by Gene Roddenberry, you damn tootin'. So, transplanter room scene. The Spock is glad to get rid of everybody because he's an antisocial.
Hey, it's good to be alone.
Yes, he likes it.
I like being alone.
McCoy and Spock. Yeah.
Imagine all the reading Spock is going to get done once they all leave. It's going to be great.
Spock said, enjoying the peace and quiet that usually comes with Dr. McCoy's absence. So
good
anyway,
dialogue there. Yep.
Yeah, so we've got this little silhouetted figure that's watching McCoy. McCoy is going to meet his daughter, who he thinks she's alone, and look who's he's talking to. Bum, bum, bum. My goodness. He's an old dog, that Kirk. And so there's
is that Lord Kirk or Admiral
Yes.
Kirk? No, just kidding.
B-roll. No, actually he's captain.
Well, she's not wearing a nightgown either, so if she's not, if he's not Lord and she's not wearing a nightgown, you have to shift gears here, Mark.
Yeah.
Long show.
So I wonder if they have that music in the background like they did on Court Martial. Ba, ba, wah, 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 wah. Remember that? Remember that? Anybody?
Yep.
Of course you do. I love Court. Anyway, so they're just chatting it up with each other because that's the kind of guy Kirk is. He's a lovely young lady who's way too old for it, and he's all there.
Yeah, I don't believe this part.
What?
Well, just that Kirk would have never have had contact with Joanna and wouldn't know what Joanna looked like and wouldn't have seen her pictures and wouldn't be aware of her. I don't buy that.
Maybe if he'd act like he never met her. He knew McCoy has a dog, but he acts like he even. I can believe him never have met her, but I don't know. Maybe I could buy into them never meeting.
I don't think so.
But if they did, it might have been when she was a lot younger.
Well, and see, that's the thing. So I broke out the TOS Bible so we could talk about this afterwards. So we could talk about the nature of what happened to McCoy, the nature of him being a doctor, and how he came into service in Starfleet. And so there are some inaccuracies in this comic with the portrayal of McCoy and McCoy's past, as written by Gene Roddenberry.
Okay. Well,
so yeah, so I just don't buy that Kirk never would have met Joanna, or at least saw numerous pictures of her.
Not for a while, but okay, yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, I get you. I mean, I can understand it. But Dad, he's shocked. Anyway, he's shocked in this story. What really gets him is goes, wow, we got to watch the movie Anaconda now. Have you ever seen this movie, Raquel?
I would not. I would rather give myself a frontal lobotomy through my left eye socket with a melon baller.
I'm going to take that as a no.
Ice Cube. Get out of here. Somebody's name is Ice Cube. Get lost.
Yeah, but Jennifer Lopez, though.
What's your name?
It's a stupid
Ice
movie.
Cube. Get out of here.
It's a stupid. What my biggest problem with the movie is that the Anaconda itself was snubbed for an Oscar. It was like best performance by an anaconda in a
this
feature
isn't
film,
pornography?
Yes, it is, actually. 2 thumbs up. Siskel and Ebert.
Get out of here.
Fun. No, it did. They did. Look. They only made like 20 of those. All right, but Mark has them all, right?
Mark calls himself Ice Cube. Get out of here.
What about Ice-T? There's a guy named
I love Ice-T. Yeah.
There's a guy named calls himself Ice-T as well. Another one who calls himself Ice-T with lemon, but he's different.
Get out of here. And what's the kid's name? Kool-Aid?
Yes.
Get out of here.
There really is a guy named Ice-T. He's an actor. He's
stupid. Dumb.
He's a good actor. He's a crapper too. So, yes, Jim, this is my daughter, Joanna McCoy. Joanna, this is Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise, one of my closest friends. Of course, I should have known, but we never did tell each other his last name, so they've never met in this fiction. Then, so yeah. And McCoy thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
So
weird.
They're off again. Not really a lot of it's a pretty rushed art here. Not great,
No.
But we have a scorecard for Nickelodeon. That's important. I don't know what that is.
What does that mean?
What? You're
like
talking
about the advertisement. Sorry.
Awards or something. Yeah. Nickelodeon Awards.
I thought you were referring to some sort of publishing jargon unique to comics.
No.
Totally missed the comic commercial, the ad. Sorry about that, boss.
Oops.
Please continue.
No problem. Professor Archer says it looks like Kirk's lounge outfit from Star Trek 3. It does, yeah. It does, rather. Yes, I get to decide who gets slimed. Well, it is Nickelodeon. I heard that. Whoever remembers that show, by the way, huh? You can't do that on television. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. So
vaguely. I didn't really watch a lot of TV.
Well, you weren't a kid back then when that was on.
You read those funny books with too many words in them. I read normal funny books,
and they didn't have any pictures.
Books be all wordy. So where were we? Oh yeah, so he's giving her a tour of the ship, and I guess they're flirting, right?
Yeah.
Flirty, flirt. Who cares? Flirt. Who cares? Flirt. McCoy's not happy about it.
I don't like this.
Okay, what do you think about this? I was going to say, yeah, go ahead.
Well, just first of all, I don't think the art is very good, and second of all, I think that everyone acts out of character. I think Kirk sort of acts slimy, and he's not slimy. He's gallant, And I love Kirk just the way that he is, and
Yeah,
he
he's
would know
fine.
Joanna, and he would not slime on her. I also don't like the way that McCoy receives it and basically calls Kirk a gigolo and thinks the worst of him, and that's not true either. That's also totally acting out of character. That's not something Bones would say. It's not something he would think, and it's not something he would feel. And under no circumstances would Jim do that to him. He just
Right.
wouldn't. He would not have sex with McCoy's daughter, and he wouldn't also, like sneak around seeming like it's okay. And then I don't like what happens here with this weird conversation where she says, "That's none of your business. You have no right to butt into my life at this late stage in the game." And then she says, that he spent his life in Starfleet and that he never knew her and stuff. That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, all the estranged dad type stuff. As soon as they got there, I mean, that's tiresome at this point.
They're making him out to be a bad dad, and McCoy actually isn't a bad dad. McCoy had a bitter divorce, but he's not a bad dad. He's not a bad man, and he wouldn't fight with Jim like this. And he would, under no circumstances, would Jim have sex with McCoy's daughter and hide it. And McCoy would not walk around having conversations about what a slimy gigolo Jim is. I can't believe what's contained in the next few pages. I find it shocking and off-putting.
I hear you. I got you. Well, I believe me, when I was reading the story, I didn't think about the story. I thought about you, and I could not wait to see your reaction to it. But Mark,
well,
I was going to say that's if you have the book, These Are the Voyages, the season 3, the Mark Cushman Star Trek.
I don't have
book.
that. I have the first two.
Yeah, the first
two.
The
first one, the first book. I mean,
so I was going to dig mine out, but I was referencing one of the wikis on this comic book, and they said, in the beginning they say inspired by DC, concept by DC Fontana. Mm-hmm. So they're saying it refers to the origins of the Joanna McCoy character as outlined in the TOS reference. These are the Voyages, season 3, pages 545 to 549, and I just found that I got to.
Knights of Old. No, Joanna was never on the show. Knights of Old.
Yeah, this is, and then I just want to finish this next sentence. This Fontana's concept included a suggestion that Leonard would become overly protective after seeing Kirk with Joanna. That Joanna would respond by saying he had no right to act like a father.
Okay, so that may or may not be true because it's from a Wikipedia.
Well, no, but that's the book that I have. That's
DC Fontana. Book. But would you like to hear Gene Roddenberry's own words?
Sure. No, yeah. I'm just saying this is what when these comic book writers, they obviously took that concept and ran with it in probably the wrong direction,
but played with it in the wrong way. They massaged it in the wrong direction. So I'm going to read this so that we can get this out of the way, and so that everyone who is in the chat who's wondering, who is this strange scholarly lady and what kind of crap, why she keep interrupting, what is her evidence? Okay, so these are the words of Gene Roddenberry. I'm sorry, everyone, I am very sick with a cold, but I'm going to read. That's why my voice sounds scratchy. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to read Gene Roddenberry's very own words for his description of Bones, the day he invented Bones. So let's do this. Played by DeForest Kelley, Dr. McCoy is senior ship surgeon of the USS Enterprise, head of the medical department. As such, he has medical responsibilities for the health and physical welfare of the crew of the Enterprise and broad medical science responsibilities in the areas of space exploration. As senior ship surgeon, Bones McCoy is the one man who can approach Captain Kirk on the most intimate personal levels relating to the captain's physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Indeed, he has the absolute duty to constantly keen abreast of the captain's condition and speak out openly to Kirk on this matter. McCoy is portrayed as something of a future day H.L. Mencken, a very, very outspoken character with more than a little cynical bite in his attitudes and observations on life. He has an acid wit. which results in sometimes shocking statements, statements which under scrutiny carry more than a grain of truth about medicine, man, and society. Of all the men aboard our starship, McCoy is the least military. He is filled with idiosyncrasies, which fit the character and are his trademark. For example, he loathes the transporter system of beaming personnel from ship to planet surfaces and loudly proclaims that he does not care to have his molecules scrambled and beamed around as if they were a radio message. McCoy is highly practical in the old general practitioner sense. He rates pills except when they are vitally needed. He is not above believing that a little suffering is good for the soul and the maturity of the individual. He has a great fear that perfect medicine, psychotherapy, and computers may rob mankind of their individuality and his divine right to wrestle a bit with life. He's a superb physician and surgeon, often seems to be treating the wrong ailment, but is usually proven right in the end. Dr. McCoy is 45 years of age. He was married once, something of a mystery that ended unhappily in divorce. He has a daughter, Joanna, who is 20 years old and is training as a nurse somewhere. McCoy has provided for her, hears from her often as intergalactic mail permits, but his duties aboard the starship keep them apart. We will suspect that it was the bitterness of his marriage and divorce which turned McCoy to space service. He was born in Georgia and the United States and can be something of a gallant Southern gentleman in social life, particularly with females. When the moment is right, a trace of his Southern accent will be heard. There is something of a feud between Dr. Bones McCoy and Mr. Spock. The doctor, like most cynics, is a bleeding heart humanist. Spock appears to regard McCoy as archaic, a bumbling country doctor. And so it goes on here, but I just want you to understand that the things that I'm saying to you aren't bullshit. So it's very important for everyone to realize that Gene, he was, okay, so Gene tells us that Joanna is his daughter. He's very close. He was an active part of her life, and he is a good father. He is a loving father who is very much invested in his daughter's emotions, in everyone's emotions. He's one of those guys who's plugged in and is a model father. He's involved with his daughter's intimate life. He wants to know her soul and love her. And it wasn't until he got divorced that he even considered leaving his practice on Earth and joining Starfleet. And he has been in constant contact with his daughter that he raised and who he very much loves. So the people who wrote this can go suck on a gigantic petrified piece of dog poo that is in the park somewhere that no one picked up. And that's all I have to say on that.
Should we bother reviewing the rest of it?
No, go ahead. I just want people to understand where I'm coming from. Dr. McCoy is a good dad. This isn't a time to beat up on dads and to say, you don't even know me. I'm not even your daughter. I never even met you before. I'm going to sleep with your best friend who's 30 years older than me. It's not something I buy. And so I just wanted to provide the evidence why.
Believe me. I've been knowing that all day long when you saw this. It's been a while since I've read this one, so I forgot about it. I've read it, and it comes back to me, but I'm like, oh, shite, why did I pick this comic? Because I knew it was coming. And I don't disagree about McCoy. I think it's just...
I thought we were reading all of the Star Trek comics, though.
What do you mean?
Well, I thought we were going to do them all, whether they were good, bad, or ugly.
All? We'd be here like 40,000 years.
Okay, let's go 40,000 years, if you'll have me.
40,000. I mean, I'm picking and choosing, jumping all over the place. I mean...
But the first one in this series is golden. I gave it a 10 out of 10. It's glorious.
There you go. It was pretty good. Yeah, we only have 2 more of these to go. We'll see what happens.
And I don't regret reading it. I love owning it.
No, I got you.
I'm sorry.
No, what are you sorry for? Don't be sorry. I'm laughing. It's funny. And not only do I think it's funny, I don't disagree with you about McCoy. The bad dad stuff gets old.
It does.
So, yeah, I mean, but it's valid sometimes, but, And then he tells Kirk, "You're not a father." No, I guess not, but I guess he knows what that means.
Yeah.
Well, it's
That's pretty
before he
much-
finds out.
wow.
Did he know about David
He knew
Marcus?
about David,
I thought he knew.
yes.
He knew about David.
Oh, and
thought
McCoy
he
knew
did.
about it too.
Yeah.
They
McCoy did
both
that.
knew about David.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
knew
think-
about David.
But when did the fans find out about David, though?
Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan, yeah. So this is written, yeah. So
But this was written way after that.
yeah.
Melted Copper. Hey there.
Hey, Melted Copper.
So anyway, we got all the dramally drivel out of the way, pretty much, and we find out that Joanna has been kidnapped. And we find out the Starfleet security wears pink uniforms for some reason.
Yeah. Well, they were in the extras in
With
the
their
Barbie
football
movie.
helmets. Yeah, they're wearing Barbie pink. Some strange reason.
I love the wrestling helmets.
I like the helmets. They're from this odd as I could understand the helmets, but the pink.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the
They
pink's
do have-
ridiculous.
And McCoy has the Star Trek TMP communicator on the wrist, which is cool.
Yep,
Nice
love
touch
that.
there.
Nice. So the Enterprise goes and scans, and we find out that this they're going to look. Obviously, they're going to go look for Joanna, and they finally find out what they're looking for. That this shuttle is on its way back to the planet where they, of course, met Miri from the episode Miri, and we have a flashback explanation to the episode Miri that none of you need, I'm sure, because you all know about it. A classic episode of the first season of Star Trek, the real series, the original series. Bonk, bonk on the head, bad kid. We all know the story of Mary, so why bother rehash it? We know it.
It's so funny too because this Tim guy who's leaving the TOS note, look at how he identifies himself in 1998. Douchebag. Look at how he identifies himself. Trekker Tim, not Trekkie, in 1998.
Oh, Trekker Tim, yeah.
Yeah, Trekker Tim.
Tim too. He's the editor. Yeah.
Yeah. Goof.
Trekker. Well, back then people were saying Trekker and Trekkie. You know.
Yeah.
That kind of works, though. Trekker Tim.
People
kind of
didn't
falls
like.
better.
They didn't for a while. People steered clear of Trekkie. They just didn't like the way it sounded, so they went to Trekker. But
yeah.
I just always said I was a Trek fan myself. But anyway,
I got
Alpha
picked
Flight.
on either way, so it didn't matter what I called myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trekkie, Trekker. What do you think is gonna make a difference? You get bonked on the head.
Well, no,
Either
there was
way,
a time when that did make a huge difference because there
Yeah,
was a huge cultural shift within our own fandom long before the stupid internet, and everyone knows, well, not 1998, but before the internet, and every true Trekkie knows about it. And that was when people started watching TNG, and they said, that show's stupid, and that TOS, that's dumb, that's hokey, that's a campy, stupid show, that's dumb. Why do you watch that? TOS is the real Star Trek. This is good stuff. It's awesome. I'm not a Trekkie, I'm a Trekker. And so that started the people who identified as the second iteration fan forward. And so you meet lots of them, and they're very hoity-toity and snotty. And it's certainly in 1998, anybody calling themselves a Trekker immediately made me roll my eyes because they were the people who were making fun of us for liking TOS. They thought we were stupid, and that show's dumb. It's stupid. That's like a show for little kids. It's not even believable. The effects are horrible.
Screw them.
And stuff. So anyway,
Princess says, "Are the Trekkers the retirement ones?"
Yes.
I don't know, but well, number one says yes, Fiona, to your question.
Emphatically yes.
So here we go. This is some crappy art, and a lot of the art's really crappy in this story. Some of it's okay, but some of it's kind of very rushed. So they
Rand
find out
looks good.
they're going back to what?
Rand looks good.
She does look good right there.
Yeah.
With the ropes on her, so I'm happy with that. Yeah. It looks like the episode.
Alpha Flight. Yeah.
This Alpha Flight looks like shite because this is
Wow.
was it.
Lee
Jim Lee, or it's not Rob Liefeld. I think that's Charest or somebody. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure. And there he goes, Michael J. Pollard from the episode Mirror. They didn't age a bit. They actually made him look a lot like the episode. I'll give him that. He's got the thing. His name was Jan.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to fly a shuttle. Okay, it's one thing to hold a gun on somebody and make him fly a shuttle, but how he can fly it back? I mean, I guess Joanna didn't buy it. She's tied to the chair. So how this kid can fly a shuttle, I don't think so. Like I said, he forced the other, poor woman to fly him there. That's another kettle of fish. But how does he, fly this sucker back to the planet?
Yeah, it's dumb.
And by the way, why would a shuttle from that planet be able to reach Starbase 11? It's not a starship.
No.
Shuttles at that point, I don't think they had, they were nowhere near as fast.
Drive. No.
They didn't have warp drive. I'm pretty sure this writer of this episode, this issue, is a moron because I don't think shuttles in the original series, correct me if I'm wrong, were fast enough, certainly nowhere near like a starship, to get from wherever that planet was.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's really close.
Out there. Yeah, but they acted like it wasn't close to Starbase 11.
Yeah.
And by the way, how did he know? He may have been able to find out from that woman where, but still, I don't think he could have got to Starbase 11 that quick.
Yeah.
And then it got back really even quicker when he's flying. The woman's dead, so who's flying it? Joanna's not flying it.
Well, here, right at this page, this is when the next page after the advertisement, that's when the comic goes totally off the rails because it accuses McCoy of malpractice, of bad science and bad medicine, that he caused a disease.
Right. Son Lee, by the way, let's say hello.
That's just the kid being.
And let's say goodnight to Pop Culture Republic.
Pop, good night. And Son Lee, hey, how's it going, bud?
Son Lee, hey there. So, okay, continue. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that's just the kid being ridiculous because he's crazy. But, the cure could have gone bad after a while, but we're Federation people, and then you find out they killed them all before they could help them again. So, it's not something you would really blame McCoy for because they left.
Yeah, it did mutate. McCoy blamed himself, though.
Yeah,
that's
but
weird. Remember, he's a Starfleet genius, and he actually is so unconventional and is such a genius that when other physicians think that he's digging around in a solution that will come to nothing, he's the one who discovers the cure. This is a man who took a few days to come up with a true cure for a disease, and I'm actually pretty pissed off about it. So
Tetrarch, there's the thing. They were following the Enterprise, but they were nowhere near fast enough in that shuttle crap. So the Enterprise had to go back and get him. Mm-hmm. But you're right. They were Kirk and, just Kirk, because it really wasn't. It was an illusion of Commodore Mendez. Were in a shuttlecraft chasing the Enterprise, but they were nowhere near as fast.
Mm-hmm.
And they, in fact, they were about to run out of power, and they were going to be dead if the Enterprise doesn't go back and get them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and was that warp speed though in that shuttle? I don't know.
Yeah, they do say in the next panel. Yeah, there's no warp speed in the shuttle, so they said we were able to warp here ahead of you. So that's in the next page. So
yeah. So anyway, this guy, he tells her, about the lousy grups and tell him, Jim.
And after all these years, why would he still say grups? Remember that since Starfleet landed on the planet, we've had instructors and doctors and teachers here to try and steer them back on a path of productivity and education.
He's hundreds of years old. I doubt he changed his ways in a few years, but that I can buy him in him being still the same little jerkweed and nuts, by the way, and a murdering piece of garbage.
Yeah, but
so anyway,
he would be sent to a loony bin.
We should. So he tells her the story again, which we'd already recapped before. Blah 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 blah. We all know the story, and he wants Rewingy, and we find out that Mary's dead, and
the little bastard doesn't go to jail. No one in Starfleet holds him accountable for the murder. No one in Starfleet holds him accountable for murdering all of the Starfleet personnel that were sent to the planet. No one holds him accountable for stealing the shuttlecraft. In the end, everything's fine.
Well, why did they, if they could warp there ahead of them, why didn't they just go and take the ship into the shuttle bay with the tractor beam?
Yeah.
Or beam, why did
you wouldn't
they
let it land? You wouldn't let it land, right? Yeah.
Why would you, if you want to go make sure she's okay, you clandestinely beam someone aboard the shuttle, save her with the security guys, and then take the shuttle into the shuttle bay, quarantine it in case he's got some kind of crappy disease. And then, why are you down on the planet with your pink security guys?
He murdered dozens of people and stole a shuttlecraft, and in the end nothing happens. They get rid of his source for him, and Joanna basically says that she's going to come back and they're going to be best buddies. I almost threw up on myself just reading this complete, because I realized, oh, this is poo, and when you see poo close to your face, you just puke.
Yeah, they look, this issue. Listen, we don't have to sugarcoat it much, folks, and we're not to spend much time on it either because it's garbage. It was really a terrible issue of a comic. It's a dumb story all through, every single thing about it. And another problem I have with it, even if I didn't hate what all the stuff that number one so rightly points out, a sequel to Miri, really? They look at dragging up old episodes is kind of, once in a while referring to an old episode, but these guys just, the writers on the earlier voyages, yes, they started having some later not so good issues, but their first 8 or 9 were great. They did
were awesome.
Mostly new things. These guys here, and just like a lot of people who've written some Trek comics, which one of my biggest criticisms and pet peeves of Star Trek comic books has always been some of these writers, look, they love Trek as much as we do, a lot of them, so they watch it, but they usually spend, and they're always dredging up episodes, and spending too much time regurgitating and doing episodes that refer to things that happened on the show that are almost like sequel-ish in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a lot of writers have a propensity to do that with Star Trek comic books. And this one does that. It's a sequel to Miri.
Oh no, Professor R2, don't bring up hail, hail.
Fire and snow, friendly angel. Yeah, I mean, granted. At least they didn't. Yeah, and you're right. And the children shall eat is filth-infested garbage.
It's horrible.
This literally is the last TOS ep I would want to revisit. I'd rather have Spock's brain too. Well, let me challenge you on that one, Fiona. Would you like to revisit Alternative Factor?
Oh God.
No, I don't want to.
And the children shall lead.
No.
She said, and the children shall lead. Yeah. How about the Cloudminders?
Well, I'm okay with the Cloudminders.
I hate the Cloudminders.
There's some really sexy skin in that. I also really love all the beautiful panels that they painted.
Okay. How about Is There in Truth No Beauty? Freaking sucks. All right, Mr. Smith Smarty Pants. All right, here we go. So anyway, here we go. Back to the Enterprise flying through space. Look at all these.
That's all the dead Federation personnel, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all blue.
They killed all the Federation people on the planet.
So.
Yeah, and the little bastard doesn't even go to jail. In the end, he's got a big fat smile on his ugly little fat face. And Joanna promises to come back and care for them all and spend the rest of her days. And I think in this one, she's a doctor, not a nurse.
McCoy, look, he blames himself. All right, look.
That's okay.
It's okay for somebody to make a mistake. Kirk can make a mistake. McCoy can make a mistake. Spock can make a mistake. I have no problem with a story based on an accident or something that they just miscalculated. I don't really have a problem with that. It's the buildup to all this that I can't stand. I don't mind that was, he didn't take into account something like that. I don't really mind that kind of thing too much. I mean, you got to have human error, even in your heroes. That's always fun and good. And and if that's the case, a guy like McCoy is gonna beat himself up over it. This is absolutely understandable. That part of the story, I don't really, whatever. Although again, I'm against doing a sequel to Miri on principle. So It's kind of whatever. But we get to this point, and Kirk's trying to console him. It was these McCoy actually, and some of it's interesting where he explains why he made some of the mistakes he made. Oh, that's fine and good, whatever. But then this crap at the end, when they basically talk about how the doctors, and McCoy did end up saving a lot of people, but how the doctors are gonna how the what's his face John is gonna be just we'll deal with him some other time.
Yeah. He doesn't go to jail.
No.
And then he would be alone with Miri there. I wouldn't let Miri. McCoy's daughter, Joanna, be alone with him.
She's leaving
after he tried to kill her.
Yeah, after
she's
he tried
leaving.
to kill her.
She'll come back one day.
And he murdered all the people in Starfleet.
You're not going to leave him alone.
And Starfleet acquiesces to his request that there be no more people from Starfleet there at all. So no more medical personnel, no more teachers, just the
Grufts. It's not a Federation planet.
Why is he the king?
Were the human colony?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Why is he the king of the planet?
Yes.
He's a murdering little scumball.
He's a murdering little prick.
I do understand it's a tough place for the Federation because are they supposed to just take over? But in this case, there's no prime directive. This is not a growing society. These kids may be hundreds of years old, but they're still kids. They can't run a planet themselves. This is a situation where you come in and you just, you do kind of, you don't want to be dictators, but you probably got to come in there and take some control.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, you take this kid. I don't know what you're going to do with him because he's a murderer.
Well, he never taught right into rehabilitation.
Right. He was never taught right from wrong.
No.
You make sure all the kids don't have any of the disease anymore. You take them all somewhere where they can be taught right from wrong. Take them off the damn planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're minors too. There's no adults.
They're minors, even though they're hundreds of years old.
That's right.
You're gonna leave. They're not developed. I guess they're not developed as adults, right? Even though if you lived 100 years or 200
but they never matured.
They never matured,
and
right?
if they they've matured in the direction of being sociopathic, psychotic, murderous.
Yeah, and how would they run the society on the planet? How would the planet survive too, right? I mean, or the kids survive on a planet?
Federation colony.
I'm shocked.
Right?
I'm shocked, Fiona. You love Is There in Truth No Beauty? God, I hate that episode.
I love the Tetrarch of Apathy's comment, the regurgitative factor.
By the way, I want to go on record. I love you, Fiona, but I don't love that episode. Really? Wow. The Medusans, God, I hate that stuff. Remember when we reviewed that episode number 1? I mean, I went off on that sucker, didn't I?
I didn't mind that. I don't mind that episode as much as you guys.
Medusan, the whole idea of the Medusans pissed me off. The whole concept aggravated me. And all it was, by the way, even though there was interesting things about that, it was so poorly filmed and so poorly shot and badly directed. It was really, it was some of these stupid camera angles. I don't know. And just the fact that looking at it, I don't know. I just don't like the idea. I thought it wasn't really that science fiction, more like a silly fantasy idea of a being that looks like that. They'll drive you insane when you look at it. I'm like, what is this? The Medusans. It's called the Medusans. It's just goofy. That's just me, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, and they had did they have some kind of new warp drive horse hockey? Oh, it won me a. What was it? It won me a Star Trek trivia contest and $500. Well, in that case, nice. I changed my mind. I like it now.
Oh, nice.
I'll vote for you on that one. Nice. So anyway, Captain's log. Let's get out of here. Leave these kids alone. Let's hope they don't kill anybody, and themselves included. But hey, at some point, the Onlys will have to answer for these deaths, but not right now. The Federation will wait until after the Onlys recover, assuming they will. I think about the families of those dead. Their grief is on my conscience too. I'm thankful more thankful than ever that Joanna is safe.
What a bunch of garbage. Are you kidding?
And by the way,
McCoy would never be that selfish to only talk about his daughter. All he would be thinking of is all of the Starfleet personnel who were murdered. He would be thinking about their families. This is a man
he did say
who...
They're on his
Oh, he
conscience.
does say that in the end.
I
doesn't
know,
he?
but it would not be framed in this way. This is not believable dialogue.
By the way, Fiona, I'm just kidding. You could like any episode you want to like, but I understand why you'd like it for that reason. But it's not the worst one. I guess I've always hated it because I don't know, it's just kind of a weird episode. But it's probably not as bad as what's it not as bad? The Empath. The Empath sucks.
That's a banned episode.
Banned. I'm banning. I wish I could
That
ban
is
it.
a banned episode, and I think it. I think we had some people in the chat say that they think in the UK it's still only shown after 10 p.m.
That's great. That's insane.
It was banned all the way until the 1990s.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I still can't watch The Empath, says Professor R2. Wow.
Yeah.
You hate it that much, or you just
You
can't
hate it?
physically can't watch it?
I can see where people don't like it, but I see what the episode was going for, and there's some interesting concepts there. But yeah, it's a hard episode to watch. It's and it's not
License Zatar is worse though.
Yeah, it's like at midnight when you're Midnight Trek came on Channel 11. It's like, and you're like, oh no, it's the Empath or Alternative Factor. You're like, oh crap, but we got to watch it anyway.
I do like Dynamo Dower. We got I
was gonna say it was good. It was good to have that random trek because then you had to watch the episodes anyway. So, there was something nice about that too, where you didn't have a choice, and the old days when you had to walk uphill to school both ways.
Yeah, you had to whatever they were showing you watched.
Whatever episode that was it, and then you got to know because like today maybe I wouldn't even not that they're worth watching over and over, but you get to appreciate little things in those episodes, or at least you'd know the whole series, or you could win a trivia contest and win $500.
Jamalama's here.
Jamalama?
I'm a man, huh?
Jama, I'm a man. Is that Jamalama?
Jama, I'm a man.
Miri is my least favorite. Miri is my least favorite episode. Oh, really? Wow. I didn't know. Wow. I'm not saying it's a great one or anything, but
that's quite a statement fee.
That's, wow. I don't know if it would make my top 10 worst, but I'm not saying it's great. I don't know. It's first season.
Was that
so
Rand's?
Kind of okay.
Was that Yeoman Rand's last episode?
Yeah, it was. Yes. Let's see. By the way, I do agree with you on Dynamo Dower. I do like her. What about Lights of Zegtar is horrible. But so is That Bitch Survives.
That Bitch Survives. It's something. It's something.
But then again, the show lead might be worse than both of those put together. There's some horrible.
The most corporate of the TOS is the worst. When the changing hands of one corporation or another, or when the studio executives directly intervened. The more interference, the worse the episode. When they just buggered off and left them alone, it worked. There were times when Gene would actually hire people to take them for lunch, take them for a sandwich, trying to get them away from the filming area because he just wanted to get things done and didn't want any feedback and didn't want them messing with his show. But I mean, that's what eventually killed the show. Is it went through so many corporations and there was just so much interference, and Gene was sick of it. It's not like he went along with it. I try not to harp on the corporate episodes. I know that some people say, oh, those are the bad episodes, but I don't like to call them the bad episodes. I like to call them the corporate episodes, because when you are making a beautiful pie, a beautiful blueberry pie, and it's the best blueberry pie in the world, and somebody comes in and picks his nose and shoves it inside of your pie, you don't say to yourself, oh, this is not very good pie.
Wow.
You blame the person who inserted himself where he was not supposed to be, and that's what happened in Star Trek and in TOS. And if you heard from the block text and you heard Clobby and I talking about these issues through original source material, not through Star Trek conventions and user-generated bullshit, like actual original source material, you would agree. In those are corporate episodes. There's nothing else to call it. It's you have a beautiful blueberry pie, and then along comes somebody with his booger-filled finger.
God, why are you doing this? No, stop.
Thank God I don't like blueberry pies.
I love blueberry. Well, I used to. Now I don't. Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
come on, I'm a writer.
Thanks
I
for
have to.
ruining
I have to
Blue
put
Bite.
an image in your head. It's
No,
my job to put an image
no,
in your head. I'm a writer.
no.
Good evening, Woke Breaker.
Woke Breaker and Brian Hepburn.
Oh,
Welcome.
Brian. Hi, Brian.
Jesus Christ! Thanks. Goodbye, blueberry pies. Good to see. Yeah, it does.
Blueberry
Anyway.
pie's my
All right,
favorite
let's get
pie.
this. Are we done with this drivel? Yeah, we're done
Yes.
with
What
it.
are you rating it?
I'm
A
rating
plus,
it.
plus, plus.
What's the scale again? Our letter scale. I give it about
Well, we're doing 1 to 10 or not?
I give it a D minus. I think. Yeah.
I think I've been giving it a scale of a 1 to 10, and I know that
1 to
Mark
10?
is keeping a chart. So
Then a
Mark,
3.
I'm going to give this
Okay.
one a 1 because some of the art is weak, and because I basically I think that this is the most beautiful comic in the entire world if you only look at the cover. Because I mean that's my Jackson DeForest Kelly. That's my sexy, beautiful,
That's a
mint
nice guy.
julep drinking Southern gentleman, and I just love him. He needs to have his entire face smooched. So I proudly own this comic, but what's inside of it is flypaper. It's complete and utter shite. So just one out of 10 for me, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
You're not going to burn your copy, I hope, though.
Are you kidding? No, we keep it just for the cover. And plus,
All right.
I have to keep on collecting this stuff as Bobby teaches me about it. I love it. I
Yeah.
treasure all of it. You want to know why? Why I don't buy the digital copies? Not only because I'm addicted to books, I'm addicted to the smell, and I can't concentrate with digital books. I can only concentrate with physical copies.
My goodness.
Is no matter how much this stuff costs, I'm collecting it because this is time that I spent with you and Clobby.
Oh.
I love these
Oh, that's
comics
nice.
because this is our friendship. These are the hours we spent together while you guys were teaching me about this stuff. I'm having a wonderful time.
A Neelix Kess says
Gross.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I hate Chicken Man and I hate Super Cats.
Chicken Man.
Ew.
Wow. What?
Draw that man in a chicken suit. It's the Chicken Man!
Cass. Super Cass.
So
Well,
I give it a
yeah.
3, I guess. What do you give it, Marco?
Yeah, I agree. I give it a 3. Now, some of the art I think was really nice. I mean, like that last panel
skips
with
were, anyway.
Amir's grave.
Yeah, this isn't bad.
So, but I think what they just took that concept from DC Fontana. I got to go back and read the book that this is from, in terms of what they're referencing. The Joanna McCoy character, and I guess, I mean, maybe if Kirk you had had that in the bar where Kirk didn't know who she was, and maybe and then you find out you could do that, but Kirk would, once he found out that it was McCoy's daughter, he would never go anywhere near her.
Well, we gave her a tour. He didn't hit on her. He didn't hit on her.
The insinuation was there that
Absolutely.
that he was.
Yep.
Although later he does say that nothing, thank God, nothing happened.
Yeah,
but
but
he was
not
messing with
after
Bones.
McCoy completely flips out about it and basically has a conversation with him where he's like, "You dirty dog, you do anybody, you gigolo, and that's my daughter," and that's just not the relationship they have. It's
well,
just
yeah,
not
plus
true.
McCoy would know that Kirk.
If any of you have a rating, you can give it to us.
Yeah, if any of you in the chat have read the comic, please go ahead and give us your feedback.
I don't know if they've even bothered. So, what'd you give it, Mark?
Well, I give it a 3, but I think there's some good part. Like, you could have done a good story, but what you don't want to do is unravel what happened in Miri. So what they could have done was had, say something did go wrong with the cure, but you would have had McCoy go there and save the day. You wouldn't have had bonk bonk on the head,
bonk on the head,
killing all the Federation people. You don't want to undo, a classic TOS episode. And,
Right.
I did like the character of Miri. So you could have written this and had maybe just, Joanna not knowing that's Kirk, although I think everyone would probably pretty much know Kirk because he's a YouTube star back then too, as well as a renowned captain. So, yeah, that seems a little bit...
Okay, so
all right,
can I just say something to you right now?
Sure.
I want you to imagine that they get a message to the Enterprise. McCoy has been informed that as a nurse, not a doctor, as a nurse, Joanna was deployed to work on the team, working on the Miri planet, to rehabilitate the people who live there and their offspring. And while she was there, there was a horrible mutation that happened in the offspring of those who had taken the vaccine. And so one of them goes mad, and let's say that it's still him, and he takes her hostage. And by the time Kirk and McCoy get to the planet, they have to negotiate with them as grups, as they have regressed, and their progress, their emotional and psychological progress is not coming along as far as we want it, but there's hope for the next generation. And so then we save this younger generation, and Joanna decides that she's going to stay on the planet, knowing that they rehabilitated these folks who basically lost their mind due to the resurgence of the virus. You can still do all that.
Yeah.
McCoy doesn't have to be a gigolo who's fighting with his best friend, having conversations that he would never have in a billion years. You do not need to make McCoy an absent father, or this jerk off who never even knew his daughter, who abandoned his daughter. That's not even the story, as you already know. And 3, why up the ante to filth level? You want to know why? Because of Trekker Tom. Because he had to up the ante and make all the kids kill a whole bunch of people in Starfleet, and then not even punish them for it. I mean, what are you doing? Like, why don't you just take a can opener to your skull and scoop your brains out like ice cream?
Or maybe leave all the DVDs of Star Trek Discovery as the only entertainment on the planet and make them watch that.
Like, no. I see what you're saying. Like, this is a cool episode, but why play your hand like that? Why make the story like that?
Yeah, the story went off the rails, but it had potential. It's not to revisit something in the future. Yeah, well, I guess this is 14 years in the future now, or 7 years, or whatever it is. Yeah, that's not entirely bad, but you don't want to undo the goodwill of the episode, and that ruins those characters for you. Of course, I've read hundreds, maybe thousands of Star Trek comics, so you kind of take these with a grain of salt, and you say, this one was a piece of S, and you just,
yeah,
I never remembered again, and it doesn't, it's not canon. It's just kind of out there. You just gotta, if you don't like it, you just ignore it and say that didn't happen. So that's the way to look.
Knights of Old, Trekker Tom is the editor of the comic. He's Tom too. He's the editor of the issue. He just called himself Trekker Tom innocently in one of the editor's notes, and now it's been infamous now with Raquel.
Raquel doesn't like him, yeah.
She does not like the word Trekker, in case you didn't know. So nothing to do with Tom.
That's why.
That's your reason? Okay.
Yeah, because my generation, well, at least in Canada, my generation of Trekkies were bullied by the Trekker people who thought our show was uncool, and that the new Star Trek with Captain Picard was going to teach us what real Star Trek was, because our effects were dumb and our show was campy and stupid, and no one wants to watch it.
I remember those
my
fights.
area of Canada, when TNG came along, it just made me not like Trekkers, them and their Trekker bullshit, and I'm a Trekker, I'm not a Trekkie.
I remember some of that, but
there was some of that going on, yeah.
All right, well, let's see here. We've got Knights of Old. I gave it 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. I got you. Dun Major Power said 8 out of 10 times the TMP era Starfleet Delta. Nothing personal. Why would you add nothing personal, dude? You're a friend there. We don't take anything personal. That's your rating. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. You're cool. Fiona says 0 out of 10 with a side of you. Love you, Fiona. Let's see here. Don also said, I myself love the director's edition. So do I. Of Star Trek The Motion Picture. More than the original theatrical cut and special a longer version. I understand that. Nothing wrong with that at all. The Informer is among my honorable mention TOS of an all overall Star Trek movies, while the latter two are tied as my number 2 TOS movie and 3 overall Star Trek movies. Got you covered. Thank you, Don. Oliver Belamonte says, Clobby Mark, in your statistical analysis, can the original Star Trek crew, along with their technology, and the U.S. Enterprise survive the wrath of an Imperial Star Destroyer? I would say yes, especially if you're. I'm going to say it depends upon your captain, because you need some strategic acumen for sure. Because the Star Destroyer does pack a lot of power, but they also have a bunch of small ships at their disposal as well, which would be tough, since it is a ship of war where the Enterprise and other Federation starships are equipped to defend themselves. They're not made strictly for war. So one-on-one, they would have to find some way to cripple the engines or find some other way. It would not be easy. You would need a clever captain to defeat one of those.
Well, you just take out, if you played X-Wing versus TIE, the X-Wing games or TIE Fighter, you take out the shield drainers that are way on top of the bridge. And once you get those suckers out.
Knock those suckers out, yeah.
You knock those shield testicles out, or what do I call them?
Right. Yes. But it's now, again, it's a bit, the Star Destroyers do have a lot of firepower.
Yeah. And I think the TIE fighters, the Starship could take out the TIE fighters without that don't have shields very easily. And
a trained Starship captain, especially a Kirk or somebody, is going to be a way better captain than one of those Imperial putts. Nothing punks that Vader wipes out like whenever he gets in a bad mood. So yeah,
I love that you just called them putts.
That'd be a fun fight. That would be a fun fight to see. Though I'm sure some fans have done a YouTube video of. There must be one out there, but I think the Enterprise is more like a gigantic. You'd be considered more of a battleship, where the Star Destroyer is more like an aircraft carrier, although it does have some.
It has a lot of firepower, though. It has a bunch of TIE fighters, and it does have turrets. It has
Just wait for the Star Destroyer to run out of fuel. LOL.
You still have to be smart, because they got you got to get around them stuff. By the way, this is the year of the Bell riots.
Yay, Parker Luck.
Yeah, it is. Well, I can't stand that episode of DS9 personally, Parker. But I hear you. I hear you on FM, sir. So. Well, we've been on a good while tonight, and I know you're not feeling all that well. Number one,
I'm this cold. It's like it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It will not let go.
God, Dr. McCoy's cure didn't work. I guess it. God.
Ridiculous, man. I'm never sick. And I don't think I've had a cold for years.
It'll pass. I hope.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. Well, let's get you out of here so you can rest that voice, because
thanks,
we got some reviewing to do Saturday night. So
yeah, you're gonna need a voice Saturday night. Yep.
Number one, don't strain the voice too bad, but go ahead and make your final statements, if you will. While you do it, before you do that, can you tell me, our new friend Knights of Old, I thought I would address that real quick. Can you tell me some episodes to show my 9-year-old daughter named Fiona? If episodes, do you mean of the original series, or which series you're referring to?
Yes.
Not at
all.
all.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, clarify what the show, and then I would be happy to name some.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, number one, go ahead.
I just want to thank everyone for their company tonight. Thank you, one and all, everyone, for being here. I just appreciate you so much. Thank you for supporting Clobby's channel. It means a lot to me. Clobby is one of my best friends that I ever had in my life, in real life. And I just really love him. And I love it that I love it when one of his shows is a success and that his channel is a success. It means a lot to me. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And thank you for your caring words, your kind words, your great personalities. You are all such wonderful conversationalists. Thank you for being plugged in and being a part of tonight's show. I want to thank all of the wrenches and everyone who tuned in on X, and all of the lurkers. And I want to remind everyone that you can get a membership here, and membership has its privileges. I can barely talk thanks to this cold. If you had a great time tonight, can you do me a favor? Can you clobber the like button and hit that sub button and hit the notification bell so you'll know when Clobby's on? And if you had a really good time, can you do me a favor? Can you go on your social media and share this stream? that goes a long way in building up the channel and the audience. And we're just trying to collect friends here, like-minded folks who like all the cool, nerdy and geek stuff that Clubby does. And I usually thank everyone and I name all my patrons, but I'm not feeling well, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say thanks to Mark. Mark, you're like a brother to me. Thank you for everything tonight. You're just so funny and cool, and I just love hanging out with you. And thank you for putting up with me and being my friend.
You put up with us.
And Clubby, oh, and everyone, see the thing that's on the screen? That's a Liberator from Blake 7. My friend Mark makes those. Mark is on Patreon. Can you go and find him? And you don't even have to give him money. We're not asking you to give money. If you want to, that's great. I mean, he does commissions, but you can just follow him. And he also has a YouTube channel. And he is one of the kindest, funniest, coolest people you will ever meet. So please make sure that you stop in and you give his channel a try and support him on Patreon. You won't regret it. He's just funny and cool. And last but not least, before I duck out, I just want to say, Clubby, that I love you. I had such a great time tonight. It is an honor and a privilege to share space with you. Thank you for teaching me about comics. And thank you for teaching me about Blake 7. And thank you for just being a wonderful Southern gentleman. I'm proud to call you my friend. And I just love you very much. So I'm sending kisses for your entire face. Only I'm glad it's over the internet because I don't want to make you sick.
Wouldn't you can't make me sick. I'm made of rocks.
And that's it, everyone. I love you all so much. Thank you for everything. I promise I'll shout out my Patreons on Saturday. I did at the beginning of this stream, and I definitely will on Saturday. Thank you, everyone.
Feel better. Feel better.
Well, number one, go take care of yourself. We're gonna finish up. We'll finish up here and unless you, I mean, if you want to stay with us, you can. But I know you're tired, so
better go rest.
Go ahead. Go get yourself some.
I'm gonna before I lose my voice, but I just want to say again, you guys, thank you. I had so much fun tonight. Thank you. You guys are just great friends.
See you
Good night, everyone.
All right, love you.
Take care. Feel better.
Bye. Number one, everybody, my wonderful Commander R.M. Briggs. Before we continue doing our goodbyes, I want to answer this a little bit. Okay, Knights of Old, it's difficult. Like I say, you're talking about a 9-year-old, or I don't. But kids at that age, the good news is even though they're surrounded and inundated by all this flashy, really sophisticated technology and visuals and stuff, that doesn't mean they can't get into original Trek. You said you showed her. I don't know if you showed her any of those. I would just start at the beginning of the first season and go in production order if you can. Even though they got them all out of whack, like on the Paramount Plus or wherever. I don't know if you have the episodes or what. You might start from the original. I don't know if a 9-year-old's going to get into original Trek, but at that young age, you never know. They might, and if they do, if she falls in love with the characters, then you're done. You're set, and she'll want to watch it all. So you just start at the beginning, I say, without just choosing episodes. I think you start there personally. That's what I would do. I started my kids at very young ages watching Trek. My daughter, she watched it a little bit with us. She's more of an anime type fan, right? My son, again, Star Trek's not his favorite thing ever, but he's got the proper respect. I made him watch, I made him. I mean, he watched it all with me. He loves it. Wrath of Khan's like his all-time favorite movie. He has the proper love and respect for the original series. And again, that was, of course, now he's in his 30s now. But I mean, he was a lot younger back then, but I started him at a very young age. I'm sure it's possible for a very young child of today, like a 9-year-old of today, to watch the original series. In fact, the younger you start them, the better, probably, and get something out of it. Like I said, if they watch those early ones, watch some of those early first season ones, and if they fall in love with the characters, then they're set. They're done. They're going to want to watch it all, and they'll start. The best way you start with Star Trek is from the beginning with the original series. That's a bias because to me it is the very best. However, I just think even there are people who still started that way and ended up liking some of the other ones better, but it's the best. I think it's just the number one. It's the best way to start Star Trek is from the beginning that way. And then if they like the rest will take care of itself. If she enjoys the original series, she'll want to watch the animated series and the movies and then TNG. Now, If she doesn't take to that, then I would move on to the TNG, like the beginning, and try that. If you had to pick from, let's see, from
TNG might be. Well, as I said, TNG might be more accessible just because of the special effects. Although I don't think it.
Let's see. I would pick, if I had to pick from 3 to 5 episodes of the original series, I would pick City on the Edge of Forever. No, actually, I would pick Space Seed, then City on the Edge of Forever, Amok Time, The Doomsday Machine, and Mira Mira. I mean, that's the good thing about it is those shows don't tie into each other that much. And again, that's a handful of. I mean, you might want to throw Trouble Tribbles in there, something like that.
Especially if it's a 9-year-old too, right?
Yeah, the Trouble Tribbles might be one to throw in there instead because that might appeal more to a 9-year-old. So you might want to start there. Again, it doesn't matter what season you start with; they're all over. They're not tied into each other. But Mark does have a point. Now, by the way, there's the animated series. A 9-year-old probably wouldn't want to like that primitive animation. I don't know. There's either that, well, like I said, start with the original, or you could start with the TNG because, like Mark says, it does have a more modern special, even though it's 1987, it has more modern special effects than a lot of the kids who watch the more advanced special effects these days might take to that easier. Like I said, I don't know. Some young kids, I think the younger
the new
person,
effects are better too, of course. So
yeah, but I think the younger a person starts with the original series, the better. In other words, you wouldn't want to start if someone never watched the original series and they watched a couple of the like DS9s or Voyagers or whatever, or TSGs, and then they're 22 or 23, and then they go back to watching the original series. Some of them will be okay, but other ones might go, I don't know, it's tough to get her into. It just depends on the individual. There's no right or wrong to it. And I like what Fiona says. Charlie X. Yeah, there you go. Charlie X. Corbomite Maneuver. Shore Leave Arena. Tribbles. No one dies in these. That's well, sort of. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, good point.
I mean, Arena made a huge impact on me as a young kid, remembering that one.
Like Fiona naming those, that's a good one. TNG could be a bit scary. Yeah, and a bit sexy. Well, Encounter, I'll tell you what, though. Encounter at Farpoint, I have a lot of problems with the second, even the first and second seasons of TNG from a quality standpoint as an adult, have something to be desired in some cases. But if you start like with a Encounter at Farpoint, the first TNG episode is pretty decent in introduction to the show.
Yeah.
As far as DS9, if you're going to start there, you kind of got to start at the beginning, unless you showed her Trouble with Tribbles and then showed Trial and Tribulations. That would be kind of funny. So
I think I wouldn't start with my opinion. I wouldn't start with DS9 because
no,
that's not a.
I wouldn't either. I mean, but he asked.
Yeah,
he did mention DS9.
He did. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a good place to start because well, not to get into that whole. You know, it's to me, it's very well written show, but it's you don't get the exploration and the excitement. So,
Shore Leave is a great one for the kid. That's a good point, Larry, and Fiona.
Yeah,
very
good one. Yeah.
Animated series would be great for a 9-year-old. That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's true too.
Gotta love.
I mean, they've got all this sophisticated animation these days. I don't know if they would, if that limited animation and filmation might be a problem for them or not, but you never know. She said, Darmok and Gilad TNG episode liked it, but was sad. Yeah, it was sad.
Yep.
Agreed. No DS9 for a while. It's probably the best. I'm just saying, but if she liked Trouble with Tribbles, you might show her Trials and Tribulations. That would be kind of funny.
Yeah. And the good thing is the new DVDs or Blu-rays, you can switch between the new and old special effects. So when I made my kids watch it, you had that special effects, or at least the new special effects didn't pull the kids out of the episode as much. You know, when I switched to the old special effects, they still watched it. Of course, I shouldn't say made them watch, but like, we're watching Star Trek.
Oh, I made mine. I made mine.
They never became big fans, unfortunately.
Mine, not like us, but my girl, should respect when her thing. But my boy has every respect, all the proper respect for it, and he loves Wrath the Khan's like it's probably his favorite movie. He loves it.
Wow, you've done good.
He's nuts for Wrath the Khan, and I gotta say, he's not the hardcore Trekker that we are. but he likes
loves
it.
the movie.
He loves the characters. But something about Wrath of Khan is, I think it might be his favorite movie ever. He's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. But yeah, it's tough to, you want to make your kids, I'm saying make, and can't see my face, but in quotation marks, like the same stuff you do, but you can't do it. You can only just give them the opportunity to watch it, introduce it to them, and hope they don't, and sometimes they get to like it. Like one of my sons, I would buy my sons and my daughter comics, the Kitty comics, which actually in retrospect were some of the better Marvel comics during the time periods they were coming out.
I remember those.
Young age Marvel, and they would retell
buddy
the
mine
old
used
stories.
to draw those.
Yeah, and those were good, and and then they would read them, and then they just lost interest. And one of my sons, we watched The Flash and Arrow, and Agents of Shield, and that was our thing together. We're like, all right, Dad, it's Tuesday night, we're gonna watch the Arrows on. And until he discovered girls and had more friends, and it was like our thing. We'd watch Arrow or Flash every night, so I look forward to that, hanging out. We can't miss the episode tonight. So
of course,
I didn't even care what the episode was. It's just like you're spending time with one of your kids, and so he's probably the most geeky, I'd say, in terms of watching that stuff. But they didn't become geeks and nerds. But what are you gonna what are you gonna do? So
yeah,
I'm
well.
I still
Anyway,
love them.
no, hey, look, at least you tried with them. Like I say, mine are geeks for different stuff. But they respect the stuff I like, and I respect the stuff they like. But it's not the same stuff. But they do. I'm glad that they geek out about something, because there's a difference between just liking some stuff and geeking out about it, and they geek out. So, everyone, I want to thank you for being here tonight. Mark, anything final to say before I do some show notes and some shout outs, then we get out of here?
Well, just want to say it was great hanging out with everyone tonight. The chat was awesome as usual, so a lot of fun. I don't know what the next comic brings. I hope it doesn't mess up one of our favorite TOS characters. We'll see if it adheres to canon a little bit better. I can't remember. But it's always that. But that's always hey. Sometimes it's more fun when you have something you can talk about like that. And it's always interesting. Raquel brings a great perspective, and she knows her Trek. So we were kind of when we read that, we're like, this is not going to go over well.
I forgot all about that story when I read it today. I'm like, oh boy, we're in trouble.
Oh, boys, we're in trouble.
Oliver Belamonte, we did talk about this at the beginning of this show. Yes, absolutely. Clobberin Time wishes a heartfelt rest in peace to the great Gary Graham, big time important Star Trek actor, amongst other things, Alien Nation, Ambassador Soval. He's only 73 years old. I think I'm used to corresponding with him on Facebook years ago, but a friend of mine I've had friends that met him. Gary Graham was an extraordinary gentleman, an excellent actor, and it is a sad thing. So rest in peace, Mr. Graham.
Very sad, very sad.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, there will be Sunday Night Geekery, and then but this week there will be no late night Fortnite because I'm going Klondike Derby during the day with the Scouts, so we'll be on the trail. We'll be home later that evening, probably in time for Saturday Night Star Trek. But I got to get to bed early on Friday night, so no late night Fortnite.
Well, there you go, Neuters. All right, so let's see. Remember, everyone, January is Batman 66 and Blake 7 month. Both shows debuted in January of their respective years. Adam West, Batman, is the reason why I'm here as a geek. It started my geekness at the age of 2 years old. Not even 2. And Blake 7 from 1978. So a show we talk about a lot that I love very dearly. Okay, show notice. Let's see, tomorrow on my good buddy J-Man's channel, Sean and J-Man and myself, as we do every Friday night on Fearless Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, reviewing the great Frank Miller run on Daredevil. The Get Changed comics, folks. It's truly amazing. And we'll have a lot of fun. We've been having a great time reviewing a lot of comics together. And this is going to be, as always, a lot of fun. Then, of course, later I should be hanging out with the great Nick Weiser, 32 Flavors of. with the Friday night comic shop talk, boys. So at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Central, and with always a lot of fun doing that. And then, of course, Saturday night Star Trek, which is oddly enough on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Same Trek time, same Clubby channel. 4 more episodes reviewed of Star Trek Voyager by myself and my wonderful first officer, Commander R.M. Briggs. And again, as Mark mentioned, the geekery on his channel, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday nights, every Sunday night. After a bunch of NFL that day, it'll be fun just to geek out with him. And yeah, it's the geek at 10 Eastern, and sometimes it becomes eatery. So looking forward to that. And then let's see here. I don't think we're going to have a Legion review. Usually on Monday nights on J-Man's channel, we review our Legion of Superheroes reviews. But I'm not sure if I think we're not doing it this week. But I will have Monday night Mark C Comics talk, as always, and then the other shows, other fine shows throughout the course of the week. And so, let me see, shouting you out, our wrenchers, of course, the great bronze wrencher himself, Eric K. Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North, Chris Persia, D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron, Lord Thoth, Avon lives long, live the Legion, J-Man, the Wrench Without Fear, Maddie's Daddy, Reader of Wrench Beyond is Super Wrench, Kal-El, Fanty Outside the Rascally Wrench, Hungry Boy, Master of the Cluboni, our own Music Meister, Maximum Redstone, and of course the triple wrench there, the great Bullwinkle himself, Larry. Pull a rabbit out of his hat, or a wrench out of his hat anyway. And let's see, Jonah Hex, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. Gemma, I'm a man, Thank you for being here. Princess Fiona, beautiful lady, thank you for being here tonight. It's always a pleasure. RRTNZ, Dun Power Ranger, Professor R2. By the way, a big shout out to the great Drunk 3PO for popping in. I'm always so honored to have you lurking. And speaking of lurking, anyone who is out there lurking as well, I want to thank you. It's really much appreciated. I forget to say it sometimes, but I love you, lurkers. And then, of course, anyone watching on a download or a rewatch, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, Don, I'm kind of sick of the Chiefs, dude. I'd say go Lions. And I hate to root for the Ravens, but I'm going to root for the Ravens. But the Kansas City Taylor Swifts are going to win, unfortunately. They're going to find a way to win that one on the road. But, man, I'd love to see the Lions pull this one out. RTNZ, thank you so much. Ravenscroft, Oliver Belamonte, Brian Hepburn, Knights of Old. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Parker Luck, my friend. Let's see. I gotta find more people to shout out. Gotta scroll up. The Tetrarch up apathy. Son Lee. It takes me a while to get to somebody else to shout out. So sorry. Briscoe Rob, a new person popping in. Good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight. What a lively chat, man. Just amazing. Dave C was here. Dave G Sound was here also. Professor R2 was here. All right, sir. Woke Breaker, what's up, Woke Breaker? Brogu from my old hometown was here. It takes me a second, everybody. Sorry. Pop Culture Republic. My hand is carpal. Got carpal tonight again. Getting there. Not quite. A long way to go back. Scuba Pete, buddy, and shout out to the wonderful Leslie. Thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate you. Just Joe Jobber was here. Jobber brother, always a pleasure, man. He was with me in the old days on BTR. Rod Thunderheart, Anonymous Gamer. Oh man, it's killing me.
Too much keyboarding today?
No, maybe so. I'm just gonna get some carpal here. I'm on scrolling.
I had that before. Yeah, it's bad. Yep.
Oh, I don't used to get it from scrolling, but none of today. We're gonna get there, folks. Sorry, I like to get everyone shouted out. You know that, just the way we roll up, and you know, Mars Monkey Max. Thank you. They get the shout out whether they're here or not. Just again, like I said, this is how we roll up, and you know, on clobbering times. And you know, is it futile? And some people are already gone, but that's okay. I like getting them shouted out anyway.
Yeah, shout them out anyway.
Yeah. It takes a minute, but you know, hey, what are you gonna do? We're getting there. There we go. Man, we might be close to all of them. God damn it. Can't feel my damn finger. Hello, I must be going. I cannot stay. I came to say I must be going. Courtney, I'm glad Courtney, I came, but just the same, I must be going. La la. Oh, my friend, you will stay, but if you go away, you'll spoil this party I am throwing. I'll stay a week or two. I'll stay this summer through. But I am telling you, I must be going. OT. All right. Dadman and the Dadman clan. Bruce Lombardo popped in. All righty. Penny, the wonderful Penny, was here as well. Simply Steve, you old rascal. There's football week, man. Adrian James.
Yeah, there was a little football in there. Yeah,
I keep thinking of John Vicenda's voice. Professional football in America is a game, not a war. It's for win or lose, not life or death. But say that in the summer, because winter brings the playoffs and a season is at stake. I love it. I love me some NFL films, and I love when they show all the Super Bowl highlights, even though I don't have NFL.
Yep.
I don't have NFL Network anymore. SP4H. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Doc Fortune. What's it, Doc? Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU. Thank you for being here. What a name. I used to agree with that, but I still agree with it. But man, she is annoying on this football game. It's not her fault. God bless her. She's just a kid. And it's the network doing it. I should be more forgiving.
Well, she is the most popular entertainer in the universe right now, right?
I'm just being a goddamn asshole. Mazerus, what's up? Yeah, I'm just being a dang an unfeeling asshole. Hurt 130, what's up? I mean, welcome. I mean, thank you. Whatever. Susan Eckstein was here. I think now I'm going to start making the bets. I think I got everybody other than Sean Carter, of course. But other than Sean Carter and Picasso, of course, it goes without saying, I know that I've got them all now. There's nobody I've missed. I've got everybody. We shouted them all out because it's the kind of guys we are around here. We're shout out kind of guys. We don't leave anybody behind. Everybody gets acknowledged. And there, I did it. I wasn't even lying at the time.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't have any fingers left, but wait a minute. Don't do that. Oh, there we go. All right, everybody. Thank you. My fingers. So have a what? Oh. No, Phil says the fix is in. That ref has 15% spread differential for the visiting team. That's nuts. That is, yes. They're going to start figuring whatever game that ref does, it's going to figure into the Vegas line.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
They didn't assign Sean Smith because they want the Chiefs to lose. I want the Chiefs to lose. I'm nothing against my Chief friends, by the way. If you win, I'm happy for you. Don't get me wrong. Just saying, you've won a lot lately. You've won.
Yeah, that's some else win. Yeah.
You've won 2 out of 3 Super Bowls. Now you got a total 3 championships in your history. So just
you got Taylor Swift on your team.
You got Mahomes. He's going to keep you winning forever now. So, all right then. But anyway, everyone, thank you all for having. Please all have a wonderful day. Hey, tell you what, we'll end this with this promo for our wonderful first officer's new book, and then we'll get out of here.
I just love clobbering time.